Hello everyone. Welcome back to my craft room. Just making sure I put this on silent. There we go. Okay guys, let's start over. Welcome everyone. Hi. Welcome back to my craft room. My name's Whitney Lucas with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots. And we are on our second installment of our Super Bowl of Wreaths or Super Bowl of Crafts. Basically my way of saying I'm not going to get sucked into having to watch that football game. Not that I would anyways. My husband's not a football guy, so I don't have to worry about it even being on in our house. But you can't leave the house out here in Vegas without being surrounded by it. Every restaurant, every bar, anywhere with a TV, it's going to be on. People will be screaming. So let's just stay in our craft rooms today. Have some fun. And then I'm sure we'll all get to catch up on whatever were the best commercials, whatever happened at halftime. We can catch up all on that tomorrow. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up this Facebook Live here on my tablet so I can keep track of your comments, guys. And then we'll get started on this really super cute basket wreath idea. Just going to basically use a basket instead of a wreath form. And it's kind of like just making a flower arrangement in the basket, and then the basket itself will hang on the door since it's got an open weave pattern. You don't really have to put hangers on it. It's going to be pretty fun, I believe. So, okay, guys, here we go. So, hi Beverly, hi Patricia, hi Tina, Connie, Donna, and Cheryl. Hi guys, thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks, love that you guys are with me. Love that we can do this. So, let me get this all situated over here. And that way I can read your comments off to the side while I am crafting. So, let me unplug this real quick. Alright guys, 1 second. Technical setup with okay, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to keep it off to the side somewhere else. That's my ribbon I need to use. So I'm just going to put it down here and hopefully... Oh, I need it up higher. I'm going to move you guys over just 1 second. Get you more to the right, maybe. I'm going to pan down too so you guys have a better view of my my workspace. Okay. Down, and let's go down like this. Okay guys, so you can see a good amount here. Got flowers, got all kinds of goodies. So I'm going to show you exactly what we all picked out today. Hi Jan, hi Melanie. Wet and cold in Kentucky, Melanie, huh? Yeah, well it's kind of warm and a little windy out here. Hi Deborah. And Janice. Hi guys, hi Lana and Irene. Nice to see you guys again. We only signed off just a little while last night. And then I was up till 2 something in the morning trying to get that video edited. And my little software package that I'm going to have to buy software. Let's just put it that way. We're going to purchase some software. The free software that you can find online is not dependable. So my YouTube video is still rendering. And you guys will have probably a few videos on YouTube later on today, depending on what I can get to. So that's really just up late with the videos, and I like to do this. I like to get with you guys, get elbow deep in all the flowers and the glue and all that, and then that technical stuff. I'm not bad at it. I just enjoy this way more. Right? You guys not? Kind of feels like that's a 9 to 5, and this is just the fun part of it. So anyways, guys, we're doing a basket wreath. Basically, it's a basket that's going on the door as a wreath, so we're going to basically treat it like a floral arrangement in a basket, hanging it on the wall or hanging it on your door. So yesterday I went through 2 videos for my Super Bowl weekend of crafting, and I showed you guys that I went to Hobby Lobby, showed my Hobby Lobby haul, and I got this basket at Hobby Lobby. And this is a very cute basket. If you notice here, I picked them that they're fairly shallow. This one's got some really cute handles on it. They're not really going to be intrusive when they're hanging on the wall. Plus your floral arrangement's going to come out right here. But I picked something that was sort of wide, opened, and shallow. You could use something that's fairly deep, but just remember you're going to be putting it up against the wall. So a lot of it will stick out, and you might not really want that you know, sticking way out from the door or the wall. So the idea is you're using the lattice and the basket holes here to hang the piece on your wall or your door. So basically, once we're finished, it's going to go up on the wall or on your door hanger like so. And then you're going to have all kinds of pretty stuff in it over here and some ribbon and bows. So that's the idea. When you guys go out basket shopping, just look for something shallow and look for something with, you know, enough opportunity to hang something, because I'm not going to put a hanger on this. I don't want to make a wire piece that's going to be showing from this side, possibly. There's always an instance that your door hanger might hook through here. You'll see that. That's going to be part of, you know, that's just part of what you're going to do. If you want to hang it inconspicuously, you might be able to find a different way, but I have a feeling that I'm going to have enough florals in here that you may not even see the nail or the hook or anything that you're hanging it by. So this is basically how we're starting. This is our base. Now, Hobby Lobby had all their baskets and home decor 50% off. So this was normally 30 bucks. I got it for $15. And then I bought 2 of them. So you guys will see these on my Etsy shop as soon as I'm finished. This one definitely today that I'm making will be for sale. And then so is a second one that I've got some flowers for that I'll be making that one as well. What I did was I decided to go with greens. A lot of greens and whites or cream colors. I wanted it to be really just a nice, fresh spring basket that looks like, you know, you just sort of walked out into your yard and picked a lot of flowers and kind of just placed them in the basket and they just hung there in a beautiful way. So I went with a lot of greens and a lot of cream colors, whites. And then we're going to put a lot of the same greens, creams, and burlaps and canvasy browns and all that all together in this basket. What we're going to do is secure in a piece of styrofoam, and I cut this off of a large block I have that's 4 inches by 12 inches by 36 inches. I got a really big block of it. I got it at Joann's. They do like a 60% off a regular price. So I got 60% off of that bad boy, and I think I got it for about 20 bucks. So this normal piece that you'd buy in the store, Michael's or Joann's, Hobby Lobby, probably be about $5 or $6, sometimes $7. I got an entire huge block for 20 bucks. So I take I have like a metal heated wire tool, and that's what actually it's like a metal rod. It heats up, and I use that to cut off of the block. I know a lot of people have used bread knives, other types of things. You can use dental floss. It's really messy. This, when you use the hot piece, it smells really bad, has a lot of smoke and, not smoke, but like steam, and the chemical smell comes off of it. So I cut this in the garage instead of the house. So this is just my handiwork here, which you can see it's severely uneven, but it's not going to be even if you were to cut it by hand. So it's not going to show whatsoever. This is going to be the base inside the basket. What I'm going to do is I got a little bit of leftover burlap. I'm going to use this to place behind the styrofoam so you can't see this from the back. So we're going to do that. You need to have a little bit of wire to secure. After that, I mean, hot glue isn't going to hold it in alone. We're going to have a decent amount of weight pulling on that styrofoam cube once we have secured it into the basket with, glued it to the burlap, and the burlap's glued to the basket. So you're going to need wire, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to wire it onto the basket. Your gauge wire doesn't matter. I just grabbed what I had that was green, because this may show on the back. It's going to show a little bit through the burlap, just a small amount, but it's better than looking at that block through the back of the basket if you should hang it on a window or a door with a window. Should you have to see the back of it, you're only going to see a little bit. So the only green wire I have on hand is 22 gauge. So if you guys want to use the exact same stuff I'm using today, this is 22 gauge. It says 1/4 pound green wire, floral wire, and that's what we're going to use to secure that guy in there. Flowers, this entire set of flowers, all of these are from Hobby Lobby. Every single piece I got at Hobby Lobby. I got these all yesterday, so the basket and the flowers are all Hobby Lobby. I got these tea roses here. I liked them because they have a little bit of a green tint to the middle and the inside of them. Hope that shows up on camera more. Otherwise, you guys will see at the end of the video, at the end of the live, I'll say goodbye for an hour, and we'll come back and we'll do more crafting because it's the Super Bowl of crafts, right? But once I get a chance later tonight after everything's done, I'll take my pictures with my studio lights and I'll put those up and you guys can see in greater detail how pretty all this stuff is together. They have a little bit of a green tint inside. So a lot of that has it lends more to almost a light lime leafy green in the middle of these. So these are the white with the lime green in the middle. And then I got these, and yesterday when I was going through my Hobby Lobby haul with everyone, I was telling them that this stuff looks like the stuff you put in a fish tank. And then someone said, oh, it gets eucalyptus. Well, yeah, it's a faux eucalyptus. It's a plastic piece that you can get in the greenery section at Hobby Lobby. So I added this. This will probably go towards the bottom of the piece. I got 2 of them. Now, guys, I'm holding a lot of flowers. There's no way I'm using all these flowers. I like to purchase more than I need because it's better to be safe than sorry. And a lot of times, since I have a flower addiction, I absolutely love them. I will guaranteed use them in another project at some point. So I know that I won't use 2 bundles of roses, but they were also 50% off. So if it comes to the point where I want to use them for another project, I got them for half off, and I already have them on hand. I have them, you know, as an extra supply in my little supply cache. So there's the 2 guys here. We're kind of working with maybe the bottom part of the arrangement as I'm holding it here. I bought this girl right here. She's gorgeous. Now this one is a type of hydrangea. I don't remember the name of it, but this is going to be the main event. She's going to be featured right in the middle, top center, well, more to the left, at the center of the arrangement, the biggest piece. And I'm going to have to cut it a little bit shorter to get it to fit in the basket, but this is going to be our main event. So that one's basically sticking right straight up in the middle, okay? And then I bought these. I believe these are also a different tea rose. This is in the stem aisle instead of where the bundles of flowers are. So this hydrangea and then this tea rose, they're in the stem aisle. This is a lime green. It has just a tiny bit of pink on it. So we're just going to add a small little amount of pink, nothing that's going to, you know, throw the whole arrangement off into the pink side. So I just grabbed a little bit of pink, but this is more solid greens. So I grabbed that to place in there. Now remember, all of this stuff, you're going to watch me. We're going to cut it all up. We're going to get it all placed in there nice. I grabbed this. I have no clue what it is. It looks like a hydrangea. It just makes me happy, so I purchased it. I'm going to stick it in there. It is not bright white. It is more of a cream-colored white. And I thought that it added enough texture, you know, enough of a variety to what we were already holding that I grabbed it to place that in here with it, too. I only got 1 stem of that as well. I have some of these long pieces here. This is in the bush, where all the bushes are at Hobby Lobby. It comes in pink, purple, white, and I believe yellow. I grabbed the white one. So this is a bright white, and it looks, just with the variety we have in this arrangement, it looks great with it. It's not going to throw anything off with it being like a really bright, stark pop of white in the middle of anything. This one's going to work out a-okay, just like that. And then lastly, this was something I just grabbed because I thought it was ugly. I thought it looked a little strange. And so I was like, ew, I don't know what this is. And I was like, what's kind of weird. Almost like a thorn or a thistle bush, or I don't know what this is, guys, but it's like almost upside down pineapples or upside down pine cones or something. And then if you look really close, it kind of looks like the fireworks that you throw on the ground that do like little snaps and stuff at 4th of July. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cute. So I just picked it up and then I stuck it in with the arrangement that I was holding, and it became beautiful to me. So I was like, pick it up. If you think it's ugly, don't worry about it. It might turn out. It might change your mind. And so I grabbed it and I threw it in here and I said, you know what? I like it. It's a little different. It's a little bit of cream. And then on the back of one of these, there's a few little spots of green in it. So I'm going to face that forward. And we're going to put all of those girls, they're all going to join the party with us. So I was really happy with that selection. Let me check real quick. I'm going to show you guys all my ribbon, and then I'm going to see exactly what we're saying over here on our chat. Okay. Hi, Louise from Kentucky. Hi, Jan. Nice to see you guys again. Hi, Shirley. Oh, it's raining in Florida. Yeah, well, it's just windy, and it'll probably be up in the nice 70s again here in Vegas. Let's see. Happy Sunday to you too, Beth. Snowing in Canada for days. I believe you guys are probably really ready for it to be spring. This is going to be nice and inviting, and it's going to, even if spring's not there yet, if you're able to duplicate this, it's just going to make you feel like spring is on its way. It's just, that's the kind of stuff, like when I start making the spring and the Easter stuff, you kind of forget how cold it is outside. It's kind of nice. Letty, you watched the replay last night and my wreath was good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know you guys, I'm West Coast, and I know a lot of you guys are East Coast. And I'm half the time you guys are ready to do the crafting, I'm still at work. I know it's the weekend, so thank you guys for sticking with me last night. And then also all of you guys, you can always catch the replay. I'm still loading it up to you, loading that one last night up to YouTube. It's giving me a little bit of a problem, but we'll get through it. And then all my YouTube guys, you guys will get to see all that stuff coming soon this week. Thank you for my hearts. I can see that stuff going across the page, guys. That's so nice. Lana, this is a tobacco basket. Sounds great to me. Whatever it's called, I like it. I like the color. I like the shape. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Deborah. Carla, I got you wanting to start new projects. Oh, you're welcome. That's great. Wherever you gain inspiration from, go with it, girl. Because I do the same thing. If I'm getting creator's block, I will watch lives, I'll get on YouTube, I'll go onto Pinterest, and you can just gather so many ideas and then apply your own talent to it. It's kind of fun. Hi, Beverly from Idaho. Thanks for joining me. And good afternoon, Kathleen. Yes, another warm day in California. So you're on the same time as me. That's good, girl. Good afternoon. And Deborah, 7 inches of snow in Wisconsin. Jeez. And I'm over here talking about how it's going to be 70 something. Wow. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. And yes, glad to spend the Super Bowl with you guys as well. I'm glad we're going to get all this stuff, the Super Bowl of crafts. We're going to get this started. So the first one today, like you guys had seen, we're going to do a basket. My second one that I have, after we're finished with this, I'm going to break for about an hour, hour and a half. I'll let you guys know depending on how tired I am. I got to try to sit a little bit more while we're doing this. I stood too much yesterday and my knees are killing me today and my feet. I was at Hobby Lobby for like 3.5 hours. Then I came home, organized some stuff, did the live with the supply haul with you guys, stopped, went to grocery shop, came back home and did the other live, and I never sat the whole time. So my knees and my ankles are a little angry at me today. So I got to try and sit on my stool back here today while we cut these things up. But I'm going to pan down or give you a better view of the surface we're working on, and then hopefully I can just sit while we're cutting things up. And then I'll be able to see your comments still. The second item we're going to do today, after I said sorry, we're going to do this basket arrangement, and then I'm going to break for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see how it goes depending on, because I still want to get it all in today by a certain time. And then I'm going to do the Easter Spring Cross Wreath. It's a really gorgeous grapevine wreath with a lot of florals and a really gorgeous cross that I got at Hobby Lobby. Now, this past week, their crosses were 50% off, so when they open back up tomorrow, I don't think that they'll still be on sale. But this particular one I bought a couple weeks ago, I did not get it on sale. It was still beautiful. You guys will see that one in the next live. And then the next live after that, I will get 3 done today. Absolutely 3. If there's time, I will do more. But I'll get 3 done today. The third one is going to be an Easter bunny centerpiece. It's going to be really fun and bright colors and festive and really cute. Styrofoam with some mesh and a really cute styrofoam bunny that I bought the other day. You guys may have already seen. So those are the 3 things I have planned today for our Super Bowl of crafting. So I'm going to get started on this guy, and I'll show you my ribbon selection. Now these ribbons are a combination of 3 places. This is just stuff that I had in my stash. This is a sheer polka dot white. It's sheer and it has fuzzy white polka dots on it. You can't really see yet. I'll show you when I open it up. This I purchased at Paper Mart probably maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But I'm not sure if they still have it, but Paper Mart, remember you guys, I normally buy from Craft Outlet, but I did get this at Paper Mart. This was a 50-yard roll, guys. I've used quite a bit of it. You can see I still have a lot left. But a 50-yard roll of this stuff was only $12.60. Now, I still think that that's a great deal, because if you want to break it down to price it out by the foot, it ends up being 8 cents a foot. So if you're using maybe 6 to 8 feet in your ribbon or in your bow, you're not looking at a huge amount of money. So sometimes if the price is a little bit of a selling or a sticking point for you, just imagine how many projects you're going to be able to divide that up into. So this one was a really good buy. I got 2 spools of it actually, and it comes in the sheer white polka dots, and I also have sheer with black polka dots. It's really cute. So this one's going to bring a little bit of fun springy time to it. And then I grabbed This is from Michaels. I bought last year. I believe it's their last year's spring. I can't remember. Just the Celebrate It brand. But I grabbed this because I also have a basket weave pattern with the plaid in it. It's the brighter lime part of the green that we're using in today's arrangement. So I grabbed a little bit of more white. Now, Grim, this isn't cream. This is the white with a lime and white plaid on the side. This is all wired ribbons. This was my only 1.5 inch wide. And there I have a 2.5 inch wide here. So this was Michaels. And then now this was a Hobby Lobby purchase on clearance that I got last year. Now this is normally a fairly expensive spool of ribbon. There's only 15 feet of it. And the normal price was $12.99. I was able to run across this beauty when they had marked it down to $3.40 for the spool. So I bought the only 2 spools they had left because that is a smoking deal, right? So instead of, because honestly, you guys, I wouldn't have bought I wouldn't have bought 15 feet of ribbon for $13. I just wouldn't have been able to do that. Unless it's a special custom order and the customer absolutely wants it, that's fine. But I honestly could not buy $13 for only 15 feet. But this is a very nice ribbon. It's almost tapestry grade. It's a very thick fabric. It's got lime green, a little bit of gray. It's got some white in it. And then this is throwing only a stripe or 2 of blue. I think also with the tiny amount of that color in it, and then we also have these tea roses that have a tiny amount of pink in it. We're throwing just a small amount of all these little colors in there that aren't going to be detrimental to what we're going for. It's going to add just a tiny bit of interest all over the place. So I think that's what we're doing for our ribbon selection when we get to the bow making portion. When I open them, I'll show you guys closer up what the ribbons look like and how we're going to get those done. Let's see, guys. Hi, Kyle. Nice to see you. Hope it helps me because I've been in a crafty... Oh, yeah, Donnie, you're in a craft block. I've been there, too. I've been days where I don't even want to walk in here. I mean, as beautiful as it is with all the flowers and everything, there's times where I just don't want to come in this room. I was like, I just can't. I'm not prepared to even be creative this morning. I've been there myself, Donna. Don't worry, you're not alone. Beverly, it's 66 and sunny on your side of Idaho. Oh, nice. Allie, you appreciate my efforts. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. And Nedra, thank you. Hi from Pismo Beach, California. So you're also in the great weather like I am. West Coasters. We have sunshine, 70-some degrees, a little bit of wind here in Vegas. All right, girls. Let's get started. So I'm going to kind of push my flowers out of the way over here a little bit. And then I'm going to try to see if I can... Oh, you guys are already pushed down as far as you'll go. I wish I could push this way without my camera falling. Oh. Yeah, see? That's what happens. All right, there goes my tablet. Let's see, what do we do here? Sharon, you love watching my lives. So you like when I knock everything over and then possibly injure myself. I cut myself last night, guys. If you missed my live, I cut my finger with my rotary cutter, and then I had to make sure I wasn't leaving, DNA all over my beautiful wreath. Rest assured, nothing happened, nothing's wrong. The wreath is fine and clean, nothing got any blood on it. And now I'm touching this, I'm gonna get a dang splinter. You see that? Yep. Okay, guys, PSA. If you buy a basket, be careful. This thing's gonna give you splinters, for sure. Okay, so we need to... I'm going to have to be conscious of that. Otherwise, I mean, it could take a sander to this whole thing, but I don't want to mess up the finish on it. All right, guys, so I'm going to try to... I want my comments to be closer to me. Let's see if I can do it that way. Oh, let's get it started in here. That's the Black Eyed Peas song, right, Donna? You're so great. Okay. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, so apparently I didn't turn my notifications off. No, I didn't. Let's get that off and out of here so nobody can hear that. All right, guys, so share this video. Give me some hearts and some likes. Let everybody know today is the Super Bowl of crafts on Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and we're going to get started. So, first things first, I've got my glue skillet. You guys can see that here. I've got my glue gun because we're going to be using all of it. First thing I'm going to do is I got to cut a little bit of burlap to cover where I'm going to put my styrofoam block that I cut. And I just cut, I mean, if you need to know measurements, some people do. I just cut this, I was just judging with my eye. I'll take the biggest point. This is about 3 inches wide by 4 inches by 3. So it's 3 by 3 by 4. I mean, it's really uneven because this is what happens when you do things by hand. Again, if you weren't here earlier in the live, I cut this with a heated wire tool that I bought on Amazon off of a much larger block. So that's how I'm saving a little bit more extra money on this so I could spend more on those flowers. Because basically, styrofoam is crazy expensive out here. I don't know why that is. It's frustrating. So I buy the huge block when I get a coupon, whether it's 50% off at Michael's because they have the large blocks. But Joann's seems to always have those really large blocks. And they're not usually destroyed too much. You can get a good one that's not crazy messed up. And got that guy for 60% off. Let's see. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining from Pennsylvania. And it looks here like, you see, guys, I got this at, oh, this is Burlap Garland. If you see here, my, it's backwards because of the other, oh, I see you guys are sharing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's so nice. I got this through craftoutlet.com. You can get them, and their rolls of burlap are cheaper than buying the bigger ones at Michael's. Now, I have a lot of them that I bought at Michael's because I had sales and coupons and 20% off this, that, and the other. And that's also the type of burlap, it's the 6-inch wide burlap I use on my Christmas tree. So this is an extra one I've used on many, many projects and wreaths. This is a 10-yard roll, and it looks like when I wrapped it back up, I had started making a burlap bow, if you see that there. It's basically a cut piece, and then I glued it together. I glue it together in the middle, and then you squish it. And that's how I make some of the burlap bows, if you see that there. So I'm just debating here if I even want to use this or if I just want to... I think I'm just going to use it as is, guys. So basically, if you want to see the measurements, or I could tell you, this is 8 inches wide, so you're long, so you're going to use basically 16 inches, and then I folded it in half because I planned on doing this, not necessarily gluing it in the middle like I did, but this is pretty much not a bad idea. So if you have a piece 16 inches, you fold it together, glue it in the middle. We're going to use double thickness like this. We're going to place it in here, kind of nestle it up off the side a little bit, and let's see how much of it will still show through. Now remember, we're going to be putting a lot of flowers around here, so we don't necessarily need to worry about it showing on the top. But there's always that chance that the bottom and the sides might be visible once you've hung your wreath. So I'm just trying to ensure that this doesn't show. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys here with no splinters. I'm nestling this more up on the left side here so that you don't see anything through this side of the wreath when it's hanging on your wall or your door. Okay, the inside's not going to matter too much because from this side you're going to see flowers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring it up more on this side so if for some reason you get a view on the bottom, you won't see the styrofoam there either. So that's how I'm going to nestle that in there. And basically what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to glue it to the basket. So I'm going to put hot glue on these basket pieces that it's touching and then just kind of roll it down over that with a tool, guys, because that hot glue is going to come through that burlap pretty quick. Bonnie, yes, you made it. Hi, hun. Yes, back at you. I'm glad you're here too. And Kathy, thank you so much for sharing my video. I appreciate it, guys. Let everyone know Super Bowl of Crafting has just begun. And we have so much to do. It's going to be so much fun. So if you guys can't see at the moment, I'm just placing some hot glue across this portion of the basket. It's this long piece right here. And I'm taking my dowel, my little helper tool, and I'm just kind of nestling it in there. You can also take your styrofoam and kind of push it down on there and get the glue to kind of squish through. All right, so I'm going to turn it this way so you guys can see a little bit more. I'm going to prop it up a little bit maybe. And I'm going to do the same thing down here on this side. I'm going to lift up my burlap a little bit and just place glue all on that side. I'm going to probably use this here. There we go. So basically, I'm using something to push it down because that glue, I've done it many times and burnt my fingers. It's going to come through those burlap. It's a very, you know, it's holey. It has a lot of open weaving to it. So it'll come through and it'll get you. It'll get you good, guys. All right, so I got those two portions there. Now I need to do a little bit on the bottom. And I'm just propping things up so that I can get the basket at a better angle for my work. Let's see what I can do here. Put a bunch of glue here, bunch of glue here. And I want some here and some here. So I'm just following the basket pattern underneath, and I am just getting glue happy on all of it. And again, this is to cover things up so you're not looking at that green styrofoam from the sides or the back. This is part of my way of trying to get things a little bit prettier on that side so you don't have to stare. You don't quite have to stare at something that might not be pretty. Okay, guys, so let me cut off my, never cut my tag off of this girl. $15 basket for this size. You really can't go wrong. It's kind of a great deal. Okay. Let's see. Take a drink. Hello from rainy Cambridge. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Kelly. And Jan. Hi, Peggy. Welcome to Whitney's World. Thank you so much. It's cute, Whitney's World. I love that. Whitney's crafty world. Yeah. All right, guys. So now I'll show you quickly. This is exactly what you've got. You've just got a little square of burlap stuffed in there. So this is what we look at from the side, and that's what we see from the back. It's not going to be crazy beautiful from the back, but this is better than, in my opinion, than looking at that ugly green styrofoam. So, since this was hand cut with perfection from yours truly, I'm just going to pick a side that's maybe more or less even to where it sits good in there. So this looks like that's pretty decent for me. And first things first is I'm going to put a ton of glue on the bottom of this guy. I'm going to just glue all that up. Okay, see all that, guys? I just put a ton of glue on it and it's steaming up, smoking. And I'm going to place it right down on the flattest part. Now remember, there's a curve going on here. Oops, let me scoot that over a little bit. There's a curve in the basket, so get it as close to the curve as you can. Let me see what I'm doing here. I could possibly even get this. Yeah, I got a couple pieces. I got another opportunity here to glue down the burlap a little bit more. There we go. And don't think, glue is not going to be the only thing holding this girl on, trust me, because it's not going to be enough. So just picking up my burlap under here, under this part here, and I was gluing more onto this piece and this piece. It's basically these two pieces of the basket. Just put a little bit more glue in there. Get it glued down good. And then we're going to put some wire underneath it all. No, it's not. It's not going to work just yet. I'm going to keep an extra piece of glue nearby. Okay, guys, so that's pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. If you see here, it's all glued in. So next, in order to make sure it's absolutely secure, we're going to wire it on because some of these flowers are just a little heavy for just hot glue, especially since the arrangement is going to be hung this way. Flowers coming up, the heaviness could pull it completely forward while it's hanging. So we're going to wire this on a little bit more. So just open up your wire, and again, you guys, I have 22 gauge green wire because that's the only green wire I had. I didn't go out and buy any. And I figured I have colored wire I got at Michael's this last year. I've got black, white, gold, red, and green. And none of those are anything I want to see in the back. And I don't want to paint the wire because, you know, even if it's acrylic paint, it's going to rub off. It's another step. So I'm just using this green floral wire that I've had for ages, and it just happens to be 22 gauge. So it's a pretty good size gauge. Nothing too crazy to worry about. We're going to do an X pattern on this girl. Let me put my burlap away real quick, guys. I'm a creature of habit when it comes to neatness. I try, at least. And let me tell you, my craft room gets kind of crazy, but there are times where I have to stop and clean it or I will lose my mind. Alright, so let's start here. Just pulled off a long piece here. It's definitely more than I'm going to need on the back, but we just want extra. So I'm going to cut it at 20 inches. If you guys, let's just guess that 20 inches will be enough. No, actually that's not going to be enough. Okay, how long is this? Let's do 30 inches because that'll probably be too long, but we need enough slack to be able to tie it around. So what I'm going to do is, through the top of this portion here, I'm going to feed it through, there's this part right here of this X that's coming through here. I'm going to feed it through the burlap. If you can see here, I'm pushing the wire through the burlap right up here in this top corner, okay? And then I'm going to bend that under a little bit. Don't poke your eye out, guys, be careful. Thinking here. Yeah. So it's going to cut in a little bit, and that's okay. I'm running this diagonally across the top of it here from where I have it down in here, and I'm going to feed it through this bottom corner. You're just going to poke it through the holes of the burlap, since the burlap is such a nice little open weave type situation. You don't really have to try to poke holes or cut holes in fabric or ribbon. It is very user-friendly. So pull your wire down that way. Got my wire here this way. I'm going to kind of bend it more. And again, it's going to cut in just a little bit, but if it starts to cut in too much, I'll show you guys. We're going to use more glue. So what I've done here is what I'm going to do is, instead of tying these together, I'm going to try to find a better way to do this, you guys. This is my first time, so we're going to learn this together. I'm going to put another set going the opposite way. And I think what I'll do is I'll just roll these around themselves, because trying to get this part, yeah, it's going to be too much wire on the back. I'm trying to lessen the amount of wire that you can see after I've wired it on. So as tight as I can possibly get it, I'm going to pull this side, I'm going to push this one off to the side, right? I'm going to pull this girl up here, and I'm going to wrap it around this portion here. You're going to put it back through your burlap. And it's almost, you guys, it's very close to like sewing. It's almost like sewing with burlap. You could use it that way. Or you could say that. We're going to be sewing with burlap. So I'm using my thumb under here to feel once I got it through once I get it through there. And I have to use pliers to hold things and pull and tug on things. I'm going to hold this one right here while I tug down here, just to make sure I have things really tight. And I'm also got to get it back on this side. So it's kind of like a lot of weaving. You're going to be doing a lot of weaving. So I'm just wrapping this around. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to try to do 2 rounds. Okay, almost there. And then on this last one, I'm going to wrap it around twice. And then from here, I'm going to just curl it around on itself underneath here. So if you guys see, I have wrapped it around this piece twice, and then now I'm taking the wire and I'm curling it around itself, if you see here. And then twirl it around, twirl it around. It's just a good amount of twisting here, twisting there, and then I'll show you a close-up when we're done. This is just the best way that I was able to come up with getting it secured on, so that you're not looking at too much wire on the back. And then I'm going to push that in a little bit because I don't want, I'm also going to feel there's nothing sharp on there right now, so that won't scratch your door or anything. Okay, so let's take this girl and pull that one a little tight. We're going to do the same thing going this way now. And this one's pulled up this way, so it's just wrapping this around. Okay, this one's going up. This one's going a little bit easier because I'm not on the corner, of a piece of anything, so that's working out way better. Oh, if I was using my camcorder, I'd be able to zoom in on this, you guys. It'd be way better. I'm so sorry. Well, Facebook Live is very limiting, so you're only as good as the phone you're using, and even then, Facebook only gives you so much in quality. There's a lot of times you guys have said, you know, your videos, and I know it's like I really wish I could always give you the good quality video, but those I can't do lives if I do that. So there's only a few of those types of videos. But I do plan on doing more for that, more YouTube videos. To give you better quality, better content, so you guys get to see more of the fun stuff, more of the how-to. Just wrapping this around, guys. All I'm doing is wrapping it around. I'm going to do it one more time. Cut it off and twist it around more. So this isn't going anywhere. I'm going to put glue on the top of it also. I'm not going to put glue on the back here because, again, I don't want that showing for some reason should the back of it have to be seen. So if you guys see here, after wrapping that all around, this is where you see wire here and there's some wire up here. So, I mean, that's not horrible. It's pretty enough as it is if you have to look at the back of it. So there's just the one piece of wire. It's all right. So we're going to do the exact same thing again, only going the opposite direction. So we're putting a little X pattern on it and letting it dig in on the corners of that styrofoam just a little bit in the beginning to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere after we start throwing all these big pretty flowers in it. So cut another 30-inch section. And that 30 inches I cut before, I pretty much used the majority of it. So go with 30 inches, guys, because I was just spitballing there and ended up working out okay. And that was 22 gauge wire, green floral wire. Just pick a color that looks good. Let's just do this the opposite way. So now I'm going to pick diagonally the opposite way and kind of get this to go through the burlap on this side. Here, and then I'm going to feed it down onto this corner here. There you go. That. So I'm pulling on it hard enough to where it's digging in on the corners just so slightly. That's where I'm going to put glue at, is on those corners. So now we're going to flip her back over, and I'm going to work on these two pieces here on the opposite corners and get it wired on. Watching you from Anchorage, Alaska on the Super Bowl Sunday. I'm here visiting my niece for a few days. Oh, that's right. I'll see you in June. You're going to be at the Wreath Makers Live. That's so nice. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Carolyn, thank you so much. Mary Black, another gorgeous top you're wearing. Oh, thank you, Mary. This is got a funny story behind it. You guys want to hear it? Here it go. So this shirt I got at a clothing store called Dress Barn. Some of you guys may be familiar with it. It's not only dresses and it's not an actual barn, but they've got some really cute plus size clothes. They've got Mrs. sizes also, but they have really cute plus size clothes. I went in there, I forget what I was looking for specifically when I went in there that day. And I went in to look for something different, and as I was passing the rack, this shirt was on the rack, and I thought, oh, that is so ugly. What's wrong with it? I said, you know what? There's flowers on it. Let me try it on. Because that's how I think. Oh, it's ugly. Let me try it on. This has easily become my most favorite shirt. I got this shirt last year, and I absolutely love this shirt. As soon as I put it on, whatever I thought, I mean, it's just one of those things where it was hideous on the hanger. However they were displaying it was not doing it justice, and it just looked really ugly on the hanger. As soon as you put it on, I fell in love. I said, all right, I'm buying it. I don't care how much it is. I don't even care if it's 60, 70 bucks. Let me tell you, dress barn prices aren't that high, even on their plus size clothes. But, yeah, this easily became my favorite shirt. So that's the same thing I say in crafts. Even though something looks ugly, remember, such as this. Ew, what is that? Pick it up, look at it. With this shirt, I picked it up and said, let me try it on. I'm going to be in the fitting room anyways. I, for some reason, can't buy stuff, you guys, without trying it on. And then I go in the fitting room. I'm that person that takes literally 60 pieces with me because I'm not going back out. Once I get undressed, the next time I put my clothes on, they're not coming back off again. It's so annoying because I'm in there for like an hour. That's not surprising if you already know how I shop in the craft stores. I do the same thing in the clothes stores. So, yeah, this shirt has easily become my favorite shirt, and I owe it all to thinking that it was ugly and said, why don't I just give it a shot? So don't ever discount things. I guess that's like almost like the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, because this thing was not pretty on the hanger at all. So there's that little story, in case you guys wanted to know. Just thought I'd share. Alright guys, almost done with the back end construction. The meat and potatoes is almost done. Got one more wire to go. I'll give you guys another close-up of it, and then we're going to get this party started with these flowers. It's going to be nice. This is the stuff I get excited about. I love doing floral arrangements, and this is technically a wreath alternative. It's still going to be, I'm calling it a wreath because I'm putting it on the door. Not necessarily a circle, but this is basically a flower arrangement in a basket, but we're putting it vertically on a door. I absolutely love this idea. You could also prop something up if your basket's a little bit different. You could also take the same premise and prop it up against the wall and place it on a tabletop or on a sofa table or a console or a buffet table next to a wall, or even a larger basket. You could do the exact same thing on a much grander scale and put that, say, above your cabinets in your kitchen if you have that empty space. A lot of houses in Vegas with the newer builds, they have that empty space above the cabinets that you have nothing to fill. My house is one of them. I've bought a lot of stuff, and I've been in this house for 4 years, and I'm still collecting things, and not quite done with it above my kitchen cabinets, but I got a really large basket at Hobby Lobby maybe a month ago, and it's this type of weave pattern, but it's huge, and it sits up there, and I literally just leaned it against the wall above my cabinets. If you guys see, I can take a picture later, and I'll show you what I did with my kitchen. This is also a good idea. Now, you don't really want to put too expensive stuff in it because you're not going to be seeing it all that close. The detail, if you're going to put it up that high, won't really matter, but you could use the same concept as a space filler. I think baskets are my favorite thing to fill spaces with, especially if it's like above cabinets or even on the floor. I have many, many baskets in my house, in corners, on the floor. I have one in my living room that's just got sunflowers stuffed in it. Literally, they're just stuffed in it. There's nothing special about it. All right, guys, I'm done wiring this puppy in, so we'll see here. Oh, and this moved on me, but we'll see. Yeah, the wire moved on me, but it's obviously not going to come out because I'm sitting over here trying to move it. So we'll see here, guys. This is what it looks like when you're done. So there's that one. And then there's this one and this one, you see here. And then if you touch them, there's nothing that's sticking out there that's going to scratch a door. You see here. Just looped them around twice, and then I wrapped them on themselves. So there is the main piece of the construction. We are ready to start filling this girl up with flowers. So what I'm going to do here first is the main event, which is that hydrangea stem. It's some sort of hydrangea, and I don't remember the actual name of it, but this is my main event. This is the one I absolutely wanted to make sure that I got into the arrangement, because it's the piece that I want to be most prevalent. So I'm going to sit here and I have to guess, I'm going to have to guess at where I need to cut it, only because this whole thing is not going to fit in here. Alright, I'm going to cut it here because I need to actually have some of it go down into the styrofoam. Oh, and this one's a doozy, guys. This one's got a good, there we go. This one has a good wire in it. And then these pieces here, I'm going to cut those off because I could possibly still stick those into the arrangement. And if I don't, then I save these as greenery pieces for other projects. So put your greenery off to the side somewhere. Oh, I have these 3 tulip things left from a tulip wreath I made. If you guys caught my tulip wreaths that I made a couple weeks ago, I only have 3 left. I might stick these in here just to get rid of my green. I don't like things going to waste. Alright guys, here's what I was talking about before. This is a pretty heavy duty wire that's in here. I don't know if you can even see in there. So this stem, see I cut those other 2 leaves off. This is going to come in handy for if you guys want to do a lantern swag. Remember my last live was a lantern swag, and these come in handy for lots of other things, not just lantern swag. Some you can use it to stir your glue. You can use it as like the tool earlier when I was holding the glue down so you don't burn your fingers. This comes in handy, so I'm saving that one. Let me see how far in I need to move this around and bend this way and see just how I want to get this situated. Let me see here. Robin, hello, first from Ohio, first time here. Thanks for joining, Robin. I appreciate it. Donna, the prep time in making the craft is never fun, but when the time is to decorate and create gets fun. I agree. I have to remind myself that the prep time is what holds it together. Yes, yeah, it's a necessity. And it's like, okay, I'm going to rush through it, but there's like, oh, if I rush through it, there's like, no. I mean, you get this beautiful piece, but then you don't want it to fall apart, so. All right, guys, let's see. I've kind of bent it forward a little bit because as I place it in here, I need it to go down in. And what I said I was going to do, guys, I forgot. I'm going to throw a little bit of glue here on these little cross points where the wire is going into the styrofoam. And hopefully that's going to keep it from maybe falling or going, coming through a little bit more. I think I can hear my tablet. Yeah, my tablet was up a little bit. Okay. So I can hear that snap, crackling, and popping in there. Just letting that melt its way through. Ow, stuck my thumb. Yeah, stuck my thumb right in it. I mean, at some point you'd think as many times as you burn yourselves in crafting and making this stuff with hot glue, at some point you figure you'll stop feeling it, right? Because, man, I swear I'd have like no feeling left in my hands by now. Okay, guys, I have to let that dry a little bit more. Jan, isn't it a crazy thing that we can all come together? Yes, I agree. I think of that a lot, Jan. Like, this wouldn't have been possible to have all you guys with me and to talk with each other and learn from each other without this crazy internet thing. I kind of love it. Oh, Letty, you love Dress Barn. I know, I do too. Let's see. Try clothes on too. Can't just buy and walk out of the store, and online shopping for clothes is out. Now, Irina, I've been online purchasing some clothes and just taking a chance on it, and it's been working out because usually the sizes are about right for a place called Chic Soul and Perfectly Priscilla, which I found on Facebook. They have really cute plus size tops and shirts and stuff. Let's see. Yep, all of you just got here. We're just still started. I basically put burlap and styrofoam and wired the styrofoam on through the burlap, and now I'm waiting for it to dry. All right, we're ready to go. First one in, my main event. I'm going to basically place this because I want the top of these flowers to be just inside this portion right here of the basket. I don't want anything to come out too far up or higher from the basket. So I'm going to place this right about here. And I'll put it kind of further back into the back of this piece, closer to the basket in the back here. And this is just how we're going to try it out. And all this is, you guys, is starter. So I'm going to get good angle on it here, and I'm going to push it down in. See how far I can get that to go in. And I'm actually really happy with that. So I'm going to pull it back out, and I'm going to put some glue on it. If you see here, that's how close to the back of the block I have it. We're going to need a lot more space to fill in all around it. So I'm going to take the tip of that, and I'm just going to swirl it around in my glue skillet. Kind of twist it and twirl it a little bit, and then now I'm placing it right back into that hole I had already made previously. I'm going to get that in further. And there I have my main event has been placed. And now we're going to be basically filling in right here. I don't want to cover up way too much of the basket because after we put it on the wall, I still want you to be able to see your wall or your door around it. And then we also need to put a ribbon in there too. So I have to try to remember and be conscious that I don't want to fill in so much of it that I'm going to end up taking away from it instead of just enhancing it. Because eventually I like to say there's no point where you can put too much, but there is a point. There's a point where you can't add too much to a project. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm just going to take my pieces and I'm going to cut them off of the stems in their larger pieces. Again, there's another good piece to use. Save those, guys. They come in handy. What I'll do is I might leave this one this size, or I might cut it right here and turn this into 2 picks. I'll show you guys later. But what I like to do is I like to get things kind of, not pieced out, but, you know, ready to go. And so that once I get really into it, I already have the pieces cut, and what I really only need to do is kind of grab them, stick them in, make a few adjustments. Nothing crazy, you know. And these look like they're stuck together. Okay, so I want to use a good amount of these tulips as filler. This was like my secondary for this particular piece. So all I'm doing is I'm cutting them down at the base because I want to leave as much option as I can if I need the length. And then from there, once I put them on, I will guess how long I need to actually cut them if I need to cut them shorter. So at the end, that's all you have left. And then you see here, this is the length you have, and it actually lends it's a good support, it's a good filler piece, and these are gorgeous. These, you know, anything in a bundle at Hobby Lobby is supposed to be a little bit less of a quality than the individual stems, but these are a really good quality. They were super cute, and again, they were $10 a bundle, but they were 50% off when I was there yesterday. So if you can wait, and I've been in a position where I can't wait, and I've just bought things. Like all that Easter stuff I bought yesterday, it was not on sale, but I did not wait, because if I did, it wouldn't have been there when I went back. If you can wait the following week, and Hobby Lobby will have all your goodies on sale. They are very regular with the every other week thing. I'm just looking at the construction of this guy before I try to cut it. I'm going to cut this down here. I'm going to cut this one down here. Okay, so these two guys are going to be another accent. And there's some leaves here that I'm definitely going to save. I save all my greenery unless it's like really, really thin and spindly, but this can always be added into the bow when we're done. I'm going to put these off to the side, guys, because remember, I like to place a lot of extra good stuff in the bow, so it looks like maybe the bow kind of grew there with it. That kind of thing. And then these guys that came off of the larger piece, that would probably look super cute in the bow also. So if you can, oh, you guys can't really see them, we tilt you forward. I got my my piles here. So there's 1, 2, 3 piles that I'm getting things sorted, getting things ready to place in here. I'm going to leave this one till the end because this one I want to be up front more. I'm not going to necessarily cut that yet. These guys should just actually pull right out because this is a paper, it's a paper piece here. You can kind of see that better. This is made out of paper, so you can actually just grab these pieces here and they kind of pull right out. You're going to lose some leaves. It's fine. And you see how they'll just start to pull out much easier. And then these are the pieces that you're left with. You will start to see some unraveling like that right there. Once you cut it short and you put some glue on it, it'll stop that in its tracks, and you won't have to really worry too much about your piece like falling apart or anything like that. So that's kind of unraveling. I just kind of twist it in my hand a little bit. We're going to set it back off to the side over here. And then this girl here, she has to go in there. I picked this one up again as just an accident. I think it was one of those things where it was out of place and it didn't belong where I was. And I was like, let me just take a peek at it and see. Now, this was $3.99 and I got it for $1.99. So $1.99 for such a large piece, that's pretty awesome, don't you think? So this one, I'm going to do the same thing as before, but I have to cut this a little bit shorter because I don't want it to overpower my main event that I already have in here. So I'm just going to try right now, and I'm going to cut below this leaf. Save that, guys. You're probably tired of hearing me say that. So I cut it just below this leaf, right? So here's the actual piece we've got. Here's my thinking and my process. If I place this in here like this and I put it down in, it kind of overpowers the piece that I want to be our main event. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to cut this into two. So we've got a 3-part piece. If you look at the construction on this, here's the green and this stem comes off of here, right? And then the further you go up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one just above here because I only need this much length to make the top one a pick. I'll just show you real quick. Okay, hold on. This guy's going to need a little bit more. All right, there we go. So I cut that off, and now this is the stick portion I'm going to put in the styrofoam for this two-piecer here. And now I have this here as its own pick. I'm going to use this and place it in. Now I might take this off because I just want this to stick out, but I still have this connected to a thick part of a wire piece that we're going to use to put in the styrofoam. But this one I want to place in here first and get it right where I want it. I think I'm going to Frankenstein this a little bit. Hold on, guys. Let me check and see if this fits. I took the leaf off of that smaller one. Yeah, I'm going to put it right there. There was an end piece here, and I don't know if maybe something fell off and I didn't catch it, because normally I'm like a hawk in the store. When I pick up bushes and flowers, I count all the blooms, I count all the leaves, and I make sure everything is on the bush that I'm buying to make sure it's still there. Like, I paid for it. I want it to be complete. So I'm tapping my glue gun, just the tip of it, in the top of my glue gun before I stick this piece back on, so that way I can make sure it's not going to fall off. Get that guy on there. Okay, there we go. I'm going to twist it around. There we go. And I just added that piece of greenery right in there, and then it looks really nice behind the flower. I'm pretty sure that there was one already there, and I must have missed it when I was in the store. Oh, I was off my game. I was distracted. I was in Hobby Lobby for, I has to be over 3 hours yesterday. It had to have been. Don't really notice it while you're shopping and you're having fun. Okay. Oh, Lana, will they give you a price? Like she said, you learned something about Hobby Lobby. If you're afraid it won't be there, they'll give it to you for. Oh, so they'll do, what do you call that? It's not price match or rain check. It's I guess maybe be a price match. You can bring it back for the. That's pretty awesome. Oh, let's see. Adele, yes, I do have those little finger covers, but I don't ever use them. I bought them when I got my little silicone mat right there for my glue gun. It came with some finger protectors, but I don't ever wear them. Oh. Carla, thanks for joining me. You just found us. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys joining me today. We got a lot planned, so stand by, guys. So I'm gonna pick this. I'm gonna put this more over here. I'm gonna try to push it down deeper than the other. See if I can get it just nestled much further in there. Just remember, we're pushing pretty hard on this styrofoam for the first go. Hold on to the block while you're pushing. We secured it with glue and wire, but you don't want to give it any necessary pressure that could still, you know, upset it. and cause some issues. Move that down a little bit further to make sure I'm not coming out the bottom. Perfect. Okay, guys, so far, you know, your arrangements don't really look like much when you first start creating them. They kind of look like they need a little help. So I got two things a little bit wild coming off the side. So I'll pull this guy back out. Actually, that won't go on there because you know what? It's not going to show through once I start putting the roses a little bit. So I just cut that bottom piece off. So yeah. Oh, I have a dog in here. I didn't realize I had my dog Zoe. She must have snuck in and she was in her doggy bed. Hold on, let me glue this in. I'm going to stick this right here in my glue pot. Get a good amount on there. And then pop that girl right back into the spot she was in. Adjust it, make sure I have it twisted the right way. Get that there, and then make sure these still come the directions I want them to. Okay. All right, so guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna open the door and let my dog out. I didn't know she was in here. She was hiding underneath there. She must have snuck in when I was getting ready before I came on live with you guys. 1 sec. Just run to my door. Hey, Zuzu, wanna go outside? There you go. Go see Daddy. There we go. Gotta love your fur babies, right? It scared me when I heard her flip her ears. I was like, oh my God, what the hell's in the... What got in the room with me? Alright guys, so I'm going to leave this guy off for now because I haven't placed a lot of the other pieces and I want to see if maybe I can put this in a spot where I know it'll be seen. So I'm leaving this off to the side. That will be added. And so now I'm just going to start working my way from the top of the arrangement down, and we're filling all this in to cover this. So I'm going to start putting some roses and some tulips, and roses in this area here. And then these two guys I'm going to fill in a minute because I want them to kind of come up over these filler roses. So these first couple I'm not going to actually change any of the height on them, I don't believe. Actually, that's a lie. You don't know until you cut a piece off here, cut a piece off there, place one in here, one there. You don't really know until you get there. And then it just kind of comes to you. You guys, those of you that are used to doing arrangements and things, you'll know what I mean when you assume you're not going to cut a piece, and then what happens is you're like, okay, nope, never mind, I do have to cut this. It changed my mind for me. I got two of these bushes. I thought I would only use one, so we'll see if I was wrong about that as well, because there's always the option that I could have definitely mistook that measurement as well. But that's also why I bought two. Number one, they're 50% off, and number two, if I needed more, I have them. Because I want this to be full. I want it to be very well covered, prevalent. I want the roses to really pop at you, and I want you to know that that's exactly that's the purpose of them. I want you to know that this was full of flowers. I want it to look like, you know, you went outside and you just kind of grabbed a bunch of flowers and had a great, you know, just a good time cutting them and placing them in an arrangement, you could say, that type of deal. It's supposed to look, I mean, yeah, they're fake flowers, but let's try to make them look as natural as possible, right? That's... And just get a little like random, you know, if you don't really have an idea, which I don't at the moment, just get super random with placement, and then you'll see how things start to look. And all these little pieces I'm cutting off, they have some leaves on them. they're all actually going to be, they're all going to have their own home, you could say. See, that's still too long. I'll cut that off again here. I could use those pieces the same way and use them, because they're still attached to a stem. So the pieces I cut off that have wires on them, I can use them the same way I'm doing the flowers, and then they also will lend a hand in filling empty spaces. So this is just a bunch of cut, repeat, cut, repeat. Okay, so I used an entire bush of those roses, so I'm probably going to use that second bush for sure. Something kind of told me to buy the second one while I was there, so it's a good thing I did. Because we got a whole inside we need to cover up too. I'm going to cut these guys into more pieces. The more pieces you have, the more filler it will become. There, yeah. I'll show you guys what I did on the second one. I'm going to need to use that second one too. It's taking 5 seconds. Let me see what you guys say. Okay, Jan, so you spend hours there at Hobby Lobby as well. Good, I'm not alone. Let's see here. Okay. Hi, Jeannie, for Boulder City. You're so close. Thanks for joining us today. Let's see. Right now, I can't drive. We're lucky to have Hobby Lobby. Morshells or Joanne on Tuesday morning. Very close. Yeah, I've gotten some good things from Tuesday morning as well, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I could spend all day in those places too. Okay. Beverly, is this called a tobacco basket? Beverly, yes. Someone had mentioned earlier in the stream that this is a tobacco basket. I just bought it because, well, first off, I didn't know the name of it, but now I do. I got it because it's shallow and it's wide and it's super, super perfect for what we're going to do with it. And actually, you guys, I don't like the placement of this, so I'm pulling it out. It's sticking out a little bit too far in the wrong direction. I didn't really want it. I didn't really want it in that extra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it shorter, and I'm possibly, let me pull that glue right off. That worked out really well. Let's see, because we got to fill a lot of this in here with more greenery. And then I'm probably going to need to go get some green, like some of my leaves, because it's looking to me here like some of these goodies aren't going to be enough to cover the size of the styrofoam block that I have here. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to place these in first, you guys, and just see how much of it I need. And then also, I can't forget I have a bow, but the bow is going to go on the inside here on this side, so it'll cover up a lot. I'm putting the bow on this side in here. So the bow will cover up a lot of this that we won't have to use, but I need to get a lot of greenery and a lot of flowers kind of pushed in on this side here. So it's just basically you're working on filling it in with greenery. You're working on building up your pieces on certain sides and forms, and just looking for like a certain shape. If there's a specific shape you're going for, finding it and then building off of that as well. If that makes sense, guys. You have, meaning like if you have a shape, you want it to be teardrop, or you want it to come like a diagonally pyramid, triangle. There's different types of shapes and specifics of patterns or themes you want your arrangement to go in. Basically, that's really all this construction is. Cut, clip, poke, glue, build. You'll see a pattern start once you start getting your pieces the way you definitely know you want them. I'm gonna pick this guy. I'm gonna bend it a little bit. Kind of put that there on the corner. You can always find a way to kind of fill in your holes with whichever, you know, color. If you've picked a specific color, we can also put some ribbon loops in if we have just way too many holes and things are poking through. You know, just doesn't look as good as you'd want it to. We can find a way to get some more goodies in there. All right, guys. So I'm going to prop this up just a little bit. I have this little container here for zip ties, which isn't going to hold it. It's holding it a little bit. Let's see. I have an easel. I have a tabletop easel, but I don't know if that's going to help you guys see it or not. And I usually use that for my wreaths. And it's been pretty awesome. I just got it at Michael's about 2 weeks ago. They're a metal tabletop easel, and I've put my wreaths on it when I'm making it, and it's just so easy. It makes things kind of very convenient and easy to reach, that type of thing. But I don't know if it's going to be good for you guys. If you're, you know, for the view, you guys need to see things. So what I'm going to do is try to hold this up a different way and see. This is what we have so far. Excuse me. We've built a lot up on this side. I still have a little bit more to fill in, but I need to fill in most of this here, and then we're going to put the bow on this side. So I think what I'm going to do is fill in a little bit. Still have to cut some more. Fill in a little bit, and then make the bow, and then fill in the rest. And of course, I will show you guys each step. Okay, so I cut those 3 pieces off of the stem. And then what I've done from here is, this is the one piece of the stem. I've got 2 pieces here. I'm going to take this piece, pull these down, and I cut this piece of the stem as close to the base of the next part where the leaves are coming out, as close as possible. So now it turns this into its own pick, and then turns this guy into its own pick. And then, yeah, I cut it down here in the middle, but you don't see that. Your eye isn't focused on where it was cut at. It becomes its own pick. So that's pretty much what I do with most of my larger pieces. I know I want to have this in the wreath, but I'm going to need more pieces than what it's actually made for. So I just usually cut them apart, and I make more out of it. So I've got many more pieces. I got those over there. And then I'm going to use all of the second bush of roses. It's going to be very full, but that's a-okay with me. I'm going to cut them a little bit shorter because I actually know how short I need most of them now. Let's see what you guys are. Oh, thank you, Jan, saying be sure to give Whitney lots of love. Thank you, Jan. You're so dang nice. Yeah, I get into this and I forget to tell you guys, share the video, let everybody know we're doing a Super Bowl thing this week, or sorry, today. It's going to be, you know, 2 more lives are guaranteed coming at you. For the next one will be the cross wreath, and then I'm going to do the Easter bunny centerpiece. So you guys will definitely see those. Give me some love, some hearts, and all that good stuff. You guys are great. I have a lot of original ideas. Thank you, Amy. I mean, I get a lot of it by watching other people. So it's some of them, like the tulip wreath. I watched Beautiful Mesh make her tulip wreath, and they're just so gorgeous, so I did one as well. Kathy, you just ran across my live. Thank you so much for joining me. How do I know when you are on live? Okay, so my next live, after this is finished, I'm going to take a break for like an hour, hour and a half, depending on the time. And then I'll be back on. So when this is over, it'll be about an hour and a half from now. Thank you guys. I can see all the hearts and the likes coming across the page. It's kind of awesome. In order to know when I'm live, if you go to my Facebook page, and again, this is all at the mercy of Facebook. They're changing things so that your Facebook page is more related to the people and the family and friends, not necessarily business pages. But you would end up going to my page, and under the following you do the drop down, and then you'd click on notifications, scroll down, and the notifications, you'll have to make sure that you have selected the notifications for all lives. So it'll say get notified for all lives, and you would click that selection. So regardless of what I'm going live for, you'll get a notification that says Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots is live. I've had to do that for quite a few of the pages I follow, because I wasn't getting them anymore. I was like, oh no, I know my friends, I know these ladies are still making stuff. How do I make sure? Plus, also sometimes I just have no life. And actually that's not true. I'm not going to say that, because that's negative. I have a life, but my life revolves around crafting. So if I know that I have, like, I haven't seen anything for a while from this person or that person, I'm going to have to get on and take a look at their page. So there's times where I've had to go to the pages of the people that I follow and that I like, just to check up and see what they've done. And I've seen that I've missed some posts. I don't get all the posts in my feed anymore. So that Facebook algorithm thing has already changed, and makes me sad. But we'll get it. We'll get through there. I'm going to put my green tea roses in now. And so I just want to make sure that I have them sort of, I don't want them to be too far in the back, but I also don't want to have to fill in too much in front of them. So I'm going to bend some of this stuff down that I already have in there. And I'm going to kind of just guesstimate that I want this guy right here. Bend it forward a little bit. And these guys have wires all the way to the front, so that worked out really well. So I placed it in, and I bend the tops of the, let me push this here this way. I bent the tops of the buds towards me. Now I said that I was going to sit more, you guys, and I didn't. So let's see if this works out, because my knees, let me tell you, I didn't think I was that old, but apparently I'm getting up there. All right. So I placed it in, I bent these blooms towards me so they came out more, because they were sticking straight up like this. I bent them towards my face so I could see more of the pretty part, more of what I wanted to be, more of what I want to be prevalent in the arrangement. Certain things that you want to be focal points, and certain things that you just want for filler. Less expensive flowers make great filler and don't really take away from the piece. Then, and see what happens. As soon as you sit down on the stool, you drop something. It's like sitting down to watch TV and you left the remote over on the other table that you can't reach. And the dog won't get it for you because they don't have thumbs. And nobody else is home. And you don't have whatever something. So I dropped a stem of roses. I will have to get up at some point. It's okay, guys. I'll make it. Okay, so the rest of this, I got a lot of roses down here. I got a lot of my little green eucalyptus, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to fill all this in. Gonna hit the bow up pretty soon. Actually, I think I should do the bow next, because you guys, I want to see if I actually might place the bow right here on the front instead of the side. I think I might place the bow right here in the front. So you guys, let's stop and make our bow. All right, so let me move you down here. I think I got you down. Yeah, you're as far as you'll go. Okay, so let's make our bow and get that girl together first. I got two 2.5 inch ribbons and one 1.5 inch ribbon. And what I need is a pipe cleaner and a floral pick. A wooden, what are these? These are wooden floral picks. Do you see these guys here? Wooden floral picks. It's backwards because Facebook flips things. My husband and I are still working on finding out what version of Facebook for Android I have and why I can't get that little tool thing to come up when I want to flip my video for you guys. So, in any event, I have one wooden floral pick and one pipe cleaner. And we're going to get started in just cutting this ribbon and making it pretty. This ribbon is so fancy that it had pins holding it together. It doesn't have any of that plastic cellophane around it. So let's see how we go here. I normally start by opening all my spools of ribbon. And I save these, you guys, because I put them right back on after. It's because I literally cannot deal with the ribbon unraveling in my bookcase where I store it. And I also have tried to use rubber bands. Someone had mentioned, hey, try using rubber bands. But there's times where the rubber band is too tight and it actually leaves a mark on the ribbon and then it's ruined the ribbon. So I don't use rubber bands. Get my ribbon scissors. I use the cellophane that it comes with. And then I just make a little tape loop and loop it back on. I cut dovetails into the ends of all of them as starter. And that's a folded in half and cut from the folded side diagonally up to the wired edge. And you get this cute little, you see that there? You get a cute little V section. That's a dovetail. And that's for all of my newer people that might not be familiar with that. Not all of you guys, all of us pros, right? We're pros. So here we go. I've used this many times, but I save that cellophane and I just put it back on when I'm done. And then it does not unravel while you're using it, and it's just so much nicer. Here's a picture. Here's this ribbon up close. Look how cute it is, guys. Isn't that really fun and springy? And this was the stuff I got at Paper Mart a couple years ago. They have many options. Usually Paper Mart's really like, you'll pick a ribbon you like, and then they'll show you every color of that same style. And I really like that. There's places where you have to keep searching for the same thing, but in a different color. Same thing, different color. Paper Mart will show you every color that they offer in that ribbon while you're searching for it. So it's actually kind of awesome. But isn't that cute? It's sheer. And then the little polka dots on here are, they're kind of fuzzy. They got texture to them. They're a little fuzzy. It's really, really cute. Let's see. Oh, Bonnie, I used to use tape and tape it to the edge, but then also same thing, it would put a bend in it. So I stopped doing that too. Hair bands might not be affordable. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I haven't bought hair bands for 20 some years. I cut my hair off so many years ago. Wanda, yeah, we all learn from each other. My business is just starting out too, so it's kind of fun to do it together. Let's see. Kathy, you've done 2 tulip wreaths since watching mine. That's so awesome. Oh, Laura, you can't wait to see the Easter centerpiece. Yep, that one I'm going to do last. Wanda, thank you for sharing. So you will see that one after my cross wreath I'm going to do next. That's cool. Yeah, Kathy, it is. It's love and hate with Facebook, but, you know, what can you do? Without it, we wouldn't have been able to know each other. We wouldn't have been able to sit here and do this. I am going to be looking into YouTube more, you guys. That YouTube does have an option to do live streams. So I may be doing some YouTube live streams pretty soon. I'm still looking into it. I think I have enough subscribers and enough watch time now to where they're going to allow me these different benefits. So again, if you guys can help me out, watch me over on YouTube too. Go and subscribe, leave likes and comments, and then that gets me more, it gets me some more, you know, brownie points with YouTube, and then I'll be able to do live streams, and I'm looking forward to that too. So you guys can watch me on YouTube just the same as you can watch me on Facebook. There's comments. It's basically the same. It's just a different platform. And the only thing is that YouTube, I actually make a little bit of money off of the ads. Facebook, I don't really make anything, but YouTube helps me out just a little bit. And let me tell you, that tiny little bit that I'm getting has been enabling me to buy more supplies. So it really works out in the long run. I'm still starting out on everything, but I'm going to be looking into the lives, and I will let you guys all know before that. Trust me, I'm not just going to disappear off of Facebook. I will continue to do these things for you guys as long as I'm able to, or as long as I have a chair to sit on, because my legs have been hurting. Let's see here. One more drink, guys. I talk so dang much. I get so... Yes, thank you, Jan. I am helping me out and keeping all these people up to date. Sorry. Sherry, yeah, you can always watch them tomorrow, and then as soon as I have time, I'll have them on my YouTube channel. So yeah, you don't always have to be here. I mean, of course, I'll miss you. And then anything you ask, I will get notified through YouTube or through Facebook that there was comments. Sometimes it's really hard to filter and file through like over 200, 300 comments on a live video. But I really do try to get back to you guys and answer some things. I know if you message me separately, I'm able to do that a little bit easier. But obviously I want the comments and the things on the page too. It helps out with all those extra things we're going for, likes, comments, subscribes, you name it. That's our goal. It's what we're going for. All right, guys, I'm going to start my ribbon. So I showed you my polka dot ribbon. Here's a close-up of the lime green. Like I like to call this the little picnic guy. So that's lime green picnicky. And then here is a close-up of this nicer tapestry ribbon. This is a very thick fabric ribbon. Now this is the expensive stuff that I got on clearance for $3.40, so I'm a little proud of myself for it. Granted, there's only 15 feet on this roll, but it was normally $13, so it's my little, I got it for $3. And I bought the two that were, I'm like, oh, how many are on there? I will buy all of them. So there's only two, so I got 30 feet of it. I can make a few more arrangements off of it, but it's really thick. Even the sides where it's sewn here on the sides, it's a nice thick thread that they used here to coat that wire. This is a really good quality ribbon, you can tell. So again, guys, I don't measure my bows. I just kind of do what feels right. I guess at how long I want the first tail, and I go from there. This project, I don't want things to come out too long or too far. So I'm just going to start this first one off at about right there. And since I guesstimated, if you guys have to know, I will tell you in 5 seconds. This is a 7 inches from the tips of the dovetail down to my fingers, 7 inches. So go with that. So for 7 inches, now this looks like it's double-sided, but it really isn't, because the threading here on the sides looks a lot nicer on the front than it does the back. So we're going to have to do the twisting method. Okay, so I'm holding it here. Now unroll your spool a little bit. And then what I do is I just grab my next piece and I bring it up towards my hand and then kind of pull it in and pinch it and see if that is too big. Does that look like that's too big? Grab your project, push it up into your project and see. That's a little bit too big for what I want for my project. So I'm going to kind of come down here, maybe about another, I'm going to go an inch lower and see. I like to push up with my hand like this to see, because that's about the highest part, because then when you're fluffing your bow, you normally want your bow to probably be about like this in your project. So just pull it up like that, and that's the easiest part for me. Go back to your piece here, grab it, and say, look, do I like that? That's a good size loop. So I use this as my gauge. If I'm happy with it like that, I use this as my gauge, and I continue on making the loops. So I don't want the bow to be huge. I just want this to be a really pretty, sloppy, lazy, whatever, however you want to call it. I like to call it kind of like a loose, sloppy bow. And sloppy is not a negative term in this point because it's a beautiful bow. But it's also just like, kind of like an easy day out. You pick some flowers out in the field or the pasture. Make something up that's beautiful, some story that says this was all arranged just kind of crazily. I tied a few bows and I placed it in a basket, and then now here's the end product. Granted, this is all artificial, but this is the story, and this is how it's supposed to make you feel. So I'm going to do only 2 loops of the 2.5 inch, and then on this 1.5 inch, I may do 4 because it's smaller. We'll see how it goes. But I'm only going to do 2 of each because I don't want this to be just too much in there. So what I've done is, since I've made my loop and I'm very happy with this size, right now we have to take that piece that we had already done and we're going to twist it. So here's where I was before. I'm going to take it and twist it this way. So now the front of the ribbon is facing me. And remember, this ribbon only has a front when in regards to this sewn edge here. The sewn edge is much prettier on the front than it is the back. You'll be able to tell if you're a really detailed person, or if you're really I call myself a neat freak or organization. You'll see the difference in these threaded edges. So I'm twisting this like I would a bow that's not two-sided, or if you're using ribbon that's only one-sided. So then I'm going to take it, I'm going to guesstimate by my first loop here, kind of grab it a little bit. You can pinch it together, see if that's about right. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. And then pull them together. That's about even enough. Guaranteed, you do not have to have these even. Nothing states that they have to be identical. And a lot of times, symmetry isn't pretty. you don't really it doesn't negatively impact your project, then I don't really worry too much about making it perfectly symmetrical or identical on each side. So holding these two together, I just guesstimate how long I want this one. Now granted, this may be a little bit too long, but just cut it off and leave it there, and then once you put it on your piece is when I cut the second dovetail, because I might cut it a little bit shorter. So here now we're going to hold this and we're going to move on to our second 2.5 inch ribbon. You're doing the exact same thing, but you're holding them together, okay? So I'm going to guess that I want this tail to maybe be a little shorter on this side. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit long. No, I'm going to do shorter. Yeah, shorter on this side. So I'm just going to pinch it right here. And I'll tell you guys in a second. This one, the other one was 7. This one is 5. So that's only a 5-inch ribbon tail that I started with. Same exact premise. We can make these the exact same size as the other loop, and you have a guide to go by as you're making it. So grab your loop and kind of adjust up and down here and there for the size of this loop here that you've already made. And then this, I don't believe, oh yeah, the same thing. I have an edge here that's been folded over, and it's very, very minimally, it doesn't show very much, you guys. So complete preference if you want to twist. I'm in the habit of twisting, so it's just one of those things that I always do. Make the loop, make the second loop, twist cut it. Same premise as this one's a little bit shorter, but I had my loops next to my original loops and I used those as a gauge. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pull these apart and I'll place it on top of this one here instead of next to it. When I was making it, it was more next to it. So now they're sort of on top of themselves now. I'm still holding all this. Now we will start our springy white polka dotty stuff, right? So same thing, but I'm going to do 4. I'm going to make 4 loops on this guy. So what I'll do is same thing. I'm going to start with a tail about maybe this big. Let's see how big this is. This is 6 inches if you need to know. I mean, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that like measurements. I don't measure my ribbon. To me it's an added step that doesn't really matter. If you're making a handmade bow, part of that, the appeal and part of the prettiness of the project is that it's kind of just it's created, it's a fly by the moment thing. So got that tail started, and then here I'm going to see which side I have, because one side has fuzzy polka dots and one doesn't. Okay, so there's the front. And I'm going to make my loops a little bit smaller, because these are the loops that are going to be like the center of my bow. I'm going to make them a little bit smaller than my 2 outer 2.5 inch ribbons. So I'm going to bring that down here, and that's about the same height. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. So you can tell they're only smaller by about looks like about an inch total. So twist, make another loop, pinch it, and then here I'm gonna, yeah, they're about the same. That's fine. Twist, pinch, do my 4th one, twist. Get some more slack here, guys. Bring this 4th one around here. That's about right. That one's a little bit too long. That's about right. Pinch it. And then you have to twist one more time so that when you're done, your tail is facing the proper way. Now, I mean, this sheer ribbon's a little bit harder because you can't really tell, but there is a fuzzy side to those polka dots, and then there's a flat side. So I want the fuzzy side showing. Fuzzy side out, fuzzy side out. Okay, separate my work. It's all still pinched together, and then place that on top with the other ones. Put my thumb in the middle, okay? This is our bow. Kind of looks a little messy. It's supposed to. So where your thumb is here in the middle, if you can see here, guys, I'm holding this kind of here. You can push it all the way back into your thumb. I like to call this my thumb pit. You push it all the way back into where your thumb is. And you can have a little bit less strain on your fingers if you're holding it. So you take your pipe cleaner, and I kind of like give it a little bend so it's kind of in half. It's not going to be exact, don't worry about it. And then feed that around where your thumb is. So you're going to put that over your thumb, kind of push it under your thumb. You can grab these two here by the back, push it under your index finger. You see how I moved it? I moved my index finger out. I'm still holding with my ring and my thumb. Pull those together, and now you can let go with your thumb. Okay? And then I like to wrap my hands around it like that and start twisting. And this is where you can get a really tight, secure twist with your pipe cleaners. Just twist and twist and twist. Okay? And there's your bow. It doesn't look like anything special right yet, but we're going to really, Melanie, who's never seen it, you're going to really have a good secure piece on that. Sorry, guys, I got distracted. I was reading some comments. This is awesome. If you don't like her style, then there are plenty others out there. Okay. I don't know. Did somebody say something bad, Trish? Uh-oh. Yeah, we're all different. I mean, you're going to gain different knowledge from different styles, different artists. Everybody has a different technique. And you can gain a lot from watching different people, and then take something that I do and then maybe watch Julie Samaka or watch another live of Beautiful Mesh Lauren. You'll see different techniques from different people, and then you can devise what exactly works for you better. And that's pretty much how we all become the creatives that we are. Everything is a little bit of something mixed in. I mean, everybody learned from somebody somewhere, right? I guarantee you, everyone has learned from somewhere, someone at some point in their lives. And your technique ends up being a combination of something that someone else taught you eventually, and then you kind of develop your own style, that type of thing. It gets better with time and practice. So what I'm going to do here is, before I fluff anything, I'm going to take my floral pick, because we're placing this in the styrofoam. I'm going to take this floral pick, you guys here, you see it has a little bit of wire on it. That's not really going to help us much, but I'm still going to wrap it around there. And I'm going to hot glue the top of this wooden piece onto basically the side and the nucleus of this bow, right at the center, right at ground zero, basically. So I'm going to show you real quick. Basically, that's where I'm placing it, and that's where I'm going to glue it. So throw some glue right there at the bottom. Place your wooden stick on it and kind of hold it a little bit. I'm going to wrap this wire around it right now while the glue is wet. These little thin wires don't really do much, but I don't take them off just because they came with it, so I might as well try. I can get them kind of wrapped up, down, left, right. Since the glue is still wet, I'm just going to kind of twist it around here while I'm waiting for it to dry. And then we're going to wrap the pipe cleaners around the stick as well, and then glue that too. And then your bow is not going to come off of this floral pick, which we need the pick in order to place the bow into the styrofoam. Trish, you're going to get ready to watch the Super Bowl. Okay, gotcha. A few minutes to watch. No problem. You can always see these playbacks. No problem. Well, enjoy the game, girl. Enjoy the game. Oh, my comments got stuck down at the bottom. Sorry, I guess I had to scroll up. Hi, Letty. Welcome back. Yeah, it's coming along great. It's coming along great. Nancy, I have not used my pick machine yet, but that is a-okay because I haven't had anything yet where actually this would be a really good time to use it, huh? I was waiting and all excited to get it for Christmas, and then I haven't used it yet. I have the pick machine, it's sitting right there, and I'm looking at her, and she's really pretty, but these stems are really strong. So I don't know if it would actually be cost effective to use it at the moment, because then it's going to actually increase the price of the piece in the long run. But right now, that's more or less for anything that I need length on. And a lot of times, if your stem itself, after you cut it, if it's too weak to handle the hot glue and it kind of melts, those are really good opportunities to use the pick machine because the metal pieces actually lend more support to it. So in this instance, I don't have anything, like even these little eucalyptus guys, these have a pretty strong piece on it that everything has been holding up very well to the hot glue. So I haven't had a need to use it yet. But I will plan one soon if you guys really want to see me use that pick machine. I will find some stuff and make sure I can get things put together. So right now, you guys, my glue is dry, and I'm going to wrap my pipe cleaner around the stick. Sorry, the floral pick, if I may. So I'm going to wrap it around this floral pick here, do a couple twists, have it come up and around and down and sides. And then I'm going to cut it off and put a little bit of glue on it too. I mean, it's not going anywhere, trust me, you guys. I've twisted this thing around so many times, and it's got hot glue with the regular copper wire that came on the floral pick, and now it's going to have more glue on the wire from the pipe cleaner. So I'm going to twist that around. And that's what it looks like under there, guys. That's not going to show. So it's a complementing color, not to worry. So just pop some glue around in the places where you think is best. And then we're going to let that dry for a little bit. I'm not going to actually move and fluff this bow until I get it in the actual piece of styrofoam here, guys. So far we stopped where we were filling things in. And I'm going to place this bow right down here, kind of the center right. I was originally going to put it here on the side, but I think that the bow would be pushed too far in. So I'm going to put it here kind of, ow, see that? Stuck my finger right in the hot glue. I'm going to put it kind of right here in the center, more to the right. Wasn't too bad. It's not like it was completely fresh. It had a little bit of a dry to it, but yeah, that left a mark. Okay, guys. Now, this pick on this stick, you can see how it comes to a natural point here. Do you see that? I have to cut that off because it's going to be too long. I don't want it to go all the way through the block. It's going to stick out. And I really want most of this to be pushed in. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut it at a diagonal, maybe what is that, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So I've cut and I've created another diagonal piece. It's not just straight, but it kind of has a little bit of a point to it. And that's going to help us as we place this guy right here in the middle. Let's see. Where are we at here? 277. Hi, guys. Welcome all. Okay. I'm just picking my spot and I'm pushing it down in real quick, guys. Let's see how this goes. You guys are saying hi to Nick. Is Nick here? Oh, wow. Oh. I watch his videos a lot, so that's kind of like, you know, meeting a celebrity. Trish, it's gorgeous. Thank you so much, Trish. You're so nice. You give so many compliments. Gladys, don't worry about missing the beginning. I'm going to, you know, Facebook will post this right as soon as I'm done. You can watch the replay, and then once I get time to go in and edit after my other 2 lives today for Super Bowl, I'm going to have them on my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to skip forward and back and then see if you've missed anything. No problems at all. Don't worry about it. You'll be able to see start to finish. You guys, I just cut the dovetails into the other portions of the bow. They might still be too long. We can fix that. You don't have to always go with it. So I'm just placing my bow in the front. And we'll see how this goes here. I'm going to cut this right now. A lot of times, if you need those dovetails to kind of guess and see how you like something, cut it in, and then if it's still too long, you can always cut it back further. There's no right or wrong way of getting it done. So since I have my bow in here now, what I need to do is I need to get it glued in, and it looks like some of the glue that I had put on the pipe cleaner was still wet. And it's stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it while it's in here. You won't be able to see it, but basically same thing. You'll make your hole, and then you could pull that back out and put that in your glue skillet. It's like kind of like a test hole to see if that's the placement you like. So place that guy in there. I'm going to let gravity do the work here on it. So I pushed the bow down and I put a bunch of glue right back here on there. I don't even know if you guys can see down in there. I put a lot of glue in there. We're going to let that sit for a minute and let it do its work. I'm going to just play with the tails on this a little bit. And the reason I stopped is because we're going to see how much of this of the extra flowers we're going to need, and we can fill around the bow. The bow is going to help us cover all those empty spaces that we had before, so we won't have to really worry about so much filler, and then you don't have to worry if, oh, maybe you think you're going to run out of flowers or you're going to run out of other pieces of supplies or projects and stuff. Everything will be fine. You can always fill it with ribbon. You can fill it with bows. Well, ribbon is bows, sorry. You can fill it with ribbon. You can fill it with other greenery. I'm just going to play with these loops a little bit. Oh, guess what, guys? See that? I am so strong. I broke my floral pick. We gotta do it again. It's alright, no problem though. I broke it right off the thing. Here, let me show you. So, I broke it right off the top. I must have been thinking that I needed to do some sort of Hercules move, and I broke that pick. I pushed it so far in there, you know. I broke it a little bit. It's okay. Alright guys, seems like I'm having a little bit more hiccups than usual lately. You guys have been awesome though. Really awesome helping me out. Cutting off that leaf in there. And we're going to start over. We're going to start over. Gladys, thank you so much. Trish, glue is our friend. Yeah, tell me about it. Carol, I have 9,000 views. Don't remind me of that stuff. It makes me nervous. I'm not used to that much. That's a pretty big number. Thank you, Carol. Jan, one thing for sure, that is why Whitney's creations aren't going to fall apart. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if I'm putting this much muscle into it, let me tell you. Glue, glue, glue. Also, if you're making this for a family member or a friend, or if you're selling it for your own business, you want things to fail on you while you're doing it. You want this stuff to show its weaknesses and these problems in the beginning while you're making it, so that once it gets to its intended person or, you know, recipient, that won't happen, because that's like a heart, you know, it's a sinking feeling if something was to break after someone received it. It would be like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Let's find out what I can do to fix it, you know. So even if you're giving it to a family or a friend member, you know, a family member or a friend, you don't really want things to fall apart and then you feel bad and all that good stuff. So let's keep going. Let's try this one more time. I need to get this off of here. You don't have to remake the bow, you guys. Now, yes, I glued this to heaven. Excuse me. I glued this to hell and back. Let me get this off. Okay. All we're doing is cutting the glue off. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, it takes this much to get it off of here now. Don't worry about, there we go. Don't worry about this thing ever falling off. So should it fall off your door, if something crazy should happen and something tries to attack it, the dog gets it, the kids get a hold of it, this stuff is pretty solid. So what I have to do here is I'm going to add another pipe cleaner, because my original one I had to cut off. And it's still being held together by the other one, if you see here, guys. This one's still holding it together, and it's glued very well. So I'm placing another one right in the middle. And I'm just going to twist it maybe twice. We already have the tension on here from the previous pipe cleaner, so we don't have to really put a lot of craziness into this. Now I'm going to take my other stick. I'm going to glue this one on here now. We're going to do this again. Now this time when I place this floral pick in here, I'm not going to push it down so hard. Apparently I felt the need to use Superman strength. I'm just wrapping this little wire that comes on the pick around it just for added benefit. And now I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and wrap that around this wooden floral pick. Twist it a few times. Marianne, thank you for sharing your knowledge and talent. Love all your pieces. Thank you, Marianne. You're so nice. I appreciate that. Hiccups are good. Show us how to fix things when they come along. Yeah, I like to pretend that you guys are sitting in my craft room with me. We are all going to run into issues, so why not find out how to fix them together? I mean, there's times where I've watched videos and tutorials and something is different. Didn't quite turn out the same way that the instructor or that the creator did it. And I'm, oh my, how am I going to fix this? What did I do wrong? And then it's not that anything has gone wrong. So if maybe you're having a hiccup and something's not working out from a video of mine that you saw, not that you're doing anything wrong. It could be that you just did something different, right? There is no wrong. It's just different. So let's try this one more time. I'm going to glue here. I'm going to glue a little bit here. All right, this girl is not going anywhere. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Let's see, one thing for sure is that Whitney's creations aren't going to fall apart. Yeah, thank you. Kyle, love watching you. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. I love that. Thank you. Terry, love the design and colors. Thank you. I really love green. I think it's just a product of living in the desert my whole life. I love green. And I wanted to do more creams, and then it turned into more green. So I said, why don't I just stick with some green ribbons? So that's why I grabbed my green ribbon. And this Hobby Lobby ribbon here was such an exciting find when I found it, and it turned out to be so expensive. But I got it on clearance. All right, one more time, guys. I'm going to cut this at a diagonal. So I got a sharp piece to put in there. That means you don't have to push on it so hard, Whitney, and break it. It's only good if you can laugh at yourself, right? Let me tell you, I am laughing at myself a lot lately. So since I already have a hole in here, I'm going to push it back down in this hole and see how that works. That works good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dip this in my glue skillet, and I'm going to put that right back in, and we're going to let it sit for a little bit before I tug on it and start fluffing the bow. So I'm not touching it. I didn't literally put 800 pounds of pressure on it. And I'll show you guys from this side here. You can kind of see in here. It's pushed all the way into the styrofoam. Okay. And you can see the pipe cleaner has been glued also. So there's a lot of stuff securing that girl into this piece. So you're not going to need to worry too much. Just making sure that the glue's starting to turn a little white. It's still kind of clear. So I'm going to fluff the bow a little bit before I start putting in the rest of the flowers. And then you guys will see, basically we're going to build up on the right side here where the styrofoam's still showing. It's got a little bit of a naked spot. And then we got to do a little bit here on the bottom too. And remember, I still have one more of these guys that I cut off to put on. And we still have a lot of options for the greenery pieces that have come off of some other of the picks that we've made out of stems. We have a lot of options as far as for filler for the bow. I love to place stuff in the bow. I can't ever leave a bow alone. I can't just leave a bow with loops. I have to put greenery in it. I have to mess with it a little bit, make it a little different. Okay, guys, that glue down there has turned its dry color. You guys know what I mean. You can tell when the glue is really fresh and it's still real wet, and you don't want to touch it at all. It's got its pieces back to it. It's hardened. Let's put it that way. It's probably still a little tacky, but it's not wet. So here I'm just kind of fluffing things a little bit to give you an idea. And then this is something you're going to end up doing every time you take it out of storage anyways. Your bows are going to get a little crushed, a little flattened. That's okay. That's usually the name of the game. Some people have said they put like pieces, they'll cut up toilet paper or paper towel rolls, or you can use a thicker plastic to hold the pieces up. I've never done it. I mean, for years, all my Christmas stuff, when you put it in storage, that's part of the process. All right, guys, this is what we're working with so far. So you got a really kind of a fluffy bow coming at you right here. We're going to fill in all this empty space here, and then we have some down here at the bottom too that's going to stick out just a tiny bit under here like that. Not too much, because I mean, when are you going to look at the bottom of it? But we still want it to look nice from all angles. It's something that we're going to fill it in on all angles. So first things first, I'm going to put this guy back in. Now remember, we cut him off the original piece, but I left him on this thicker piece here. So I like the fact that it's kind of loose and it kind of does that fall. It moves around with it. So I want to find placement for it to where it's still going to be able to do a little bit of its movement. Okay, and then I have these tea roses off to the right here, and I still have another set of tea roses that I didn't put in yet. Those were my other focal piece. Just checking, I didn't put them in. There's only the one, so where did it go? Here it is. There we go, guys. Oh my, I'm in love with this. Thank you, Robin. Perfect, perfect. I had never heard of the glue skillet until I started watching your videos. Oh, Amy, I got it from Nick Creticos. I was watching his videos. He's from Nick Seasonal Decor. And I was watching him, and he was singing praises as to how easy it made things for when he was making his arrangements and his wreaths. And I thought, well, you know, 90% of what I do is more arrangements on my wreaths. I don't really work with mesh that much. You guys know from last night when you watched my beach wreath. I'm not a big mesh person, but I do have a lot of it. But picking up and using a glue gun on every single thing, when I first got that thing, I got it last year in August, and it has been a life-changing purchase. It was worth every cent it was. And with his popularity, they sold them out. I got one early on, and then his success hit very early on, and sold them out on Amazon. So I've seen you guys said yesterday there were some other places, because I wanted to get a backup. Just in case this girl, you know, dies out on me, I want to make sure I have something that will be there, because I love this thing. And if I have to go without it, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough. A couple people said you can get them on Amazon. A couple people said you can go to like a camping website for some of these camping stores and find the ones that are small. Because, you know, you can get a full-size kitchen electric skillet. I know that Terry Marshall from Mill and Dill Designs, she has a full-size one. I mean, you can use it. You obviously just don't put food in it at that point after you're done. But there's lots of people I know that I've seen that have these things full-size, like the kitchen full-size ones. And they're not... I'm making this a little shorter, guys. Just have to make it a little shorter. And they're not scrambling around trying to find the small ones. I have a limited space here in my craft room. I can't really have such a large one. Plus, I mean, my output isn't as much as some of those guys. They're really, really killing it. They're really successful in that point. I'm making stuff as fast as I can. You know, as soon as I'm off of work, I'm in here playing around, doing my thing, creating as much as I can. But I'm just making these shorter, guys. Some of these are shorter. I don't want to put so much height on this side of it. I really want a lot of this basket to show through. I don't want to cover too much of it up. Almost there. And then I got to add some of this stuff into the bow here. I'm going to put some, yeah, that's going to be great. I have to stop. Finish one thing, start another, right, guys? I'm getting ahead of myself here. So, all these filler pieces, I'm putting in here. They will go in here somewhere. And then I have a few tulips left, guys. So I'm going to start building up this right side here, and then I'll keep showing you as we go. I've only put a few roses in on this side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add that guy right there. A lot of it is just kind of feeling it out and seeing how one thing works over another, and how you like one thing for filler, or one thing should be more of a focal piece. You'll see it and you'll start to feel it. You'll know, because you'll get excited, or it'll just feel right. You'll see it and you'll absolutely love it, and you're like, okay, it was meant to be there. Let's just keep going with it. That kind of stuff will just kind of pop up and you'll get excited. At least I do. I get excited. I get happy when I see things, and I just, it comes to you and you're just like, yes. Yes, this is gorgeous. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't ever want to stop. I want to continue to do this all the time. So I found another little hole. I'm just going to put these roses in it on this corner. And I'm pretty sure I'm done with this corner now. You see, guys, I placed some more of these plastic eucalyptus around the side, and then it still seemed a little weird, so I just stuck this rose here right into the corner. And we're pretty much solid. You can't see the styrofoam in there at all. And you just see the burlap that we use to cover up the back of it. So that's pretty much, this side is done. Look how pretty that is. So when it's on your wall or your door, that's what you're looking at. So now I need to focus on this side, a little bit on the bottom, and then we're going to add so much pretty stuff to the bow. Oh, and I still need to put these pieces in, kind of coming out. So we're going to get this filled in, you guys. Trust me, you're going to love it. I'm going to love it. I'm putting my other two green tea roses right there. And see, I'm crushing the bow right now. This is part of the process. You put the bow on, and then you fluff it, and then you have to move it around, and then you squish it, and then you fluff it again, and then you have to move it around again. It's always part of the process. It's just hard for me to not want to mess with the bow the whole time I'm making a piece. I constantly want to place things and move things around, and I'm always placing stuff and messing with the bow. I think on a personal, normal project, when I'm not here with you guys and I'm just kind of in here doing my own thing by myself, I will seriously spend so much time playing with the bow, and I should stop. Just stop, Whitney. And get the meat and potatoes put on there, and we'll see how it goes. Just an electric crystal, also great for frying chicken. Yeah, it's pretty great. Great, Jim. Also good for food. Who'd have thought? You mean its intended purpose? It's its intended purpose? No. We don't use things for their intended purpose. All right, let's see. Oh, Gladys, you use a full-size one? And Jan, $20 at Walmart for full-size. Yeah, they're really inexpensive. It's just a full-size one. I just can't. Yeah, I've never watched him either. Oh, you guys have to go see Nick. He's such a great, his personality and his, very, very inspiring. I've made a few things because he's just so inspiring. That's one of those things we were talking about earlier. When you kind of lose a little bit of your passion, you get a little discouraged. Just take a peek at one of those pages, and you will definitely not be disappointed. It's all it takes is one little piece of motivation from the right area or from the right person, and it'll get you back on track, and it's a really good feeling. Just a lot of your stuff, get the prep work in, and then you'll see how it easily and how it comes back to you. If it's something that you absolutely really enjoy, it'll come to you. It'll come to you. It won't be a problem. But it sometimes helps just to have a little bit of help from someone else. We rely on a little help from our friends, right? Isn't that how the song goes? Yeah, I know. I'm cheesy, guys. That's how it goes. Okay, so I'm filling in more and more. If you guys see here, fill. I got a big bundle of flowers here. I'm going to break it up by putting this guy here right in the center. to bend some. You can also, I mean, don't worry about once you've glued it in. You can kind of manipulate them, and you can bend them left and right and get them to go the direction that you want them to. I mean, they're basically... Oh, look, I put one in here and I never glued it. That happens a lot. Let me glue this guy in here. Pull that bow. See, I'm messing with the bow again. Messing with the bow, messing with the bow. All right, so we've got all of the eucalyptus, all of the tea roses, everything has been placed in here. All right, you see all that. I have a little bit of a hole right here. You can't see the styrofoam because I have eucalyptus under here, but I need to put some flowers here. So actually not, I'm going to do this. I have one more thing of roses that I missed. So I'm going to put that there to kind of break up that little empty spot of green. And then I'll place these long guys in. Oh, and my little weird ones that were my little impulse buy. Those guys are going up front. So kind of will draw your eye. Perfect. It'll draw your eye where you need it to be. Is this where I placed it out? Okay. Put some glue on that. Put that in there. Okay, perfect. Remember, bend it, manipulate it. It's all wired, so you'll be able to tell it where you want it to go and what you want it to do. And I love how these things kind of just move around on their own. Okay, guys. So that's it for all of our flowers. You know, we've got eucalyptus, we've got tea roses, we've got others. You still see a lot of the basket. We're not done, but this is the idea, okay? So you place that on your wall. You can still see a lot of the paint or your door color behind it. And that's what we're doing here. I need to place a few of these, oops, that's just greenery, a few of these little white guys in here. Now this actually might be an opportunity. Yeah. I'm going to use my pick machine, guys. I got to go grab it. I'm a little excited. It's going to be my first time. Now, I haven't watched a tutorial in a while. Julie Samaka is the first one. She's my business coach and mentor. She's the first one I saw use a pick machine. And of course, we all know they're a little pricey, so I got it for Christmas. That was my my gift from my husband. I'm going to go get my pick machine, guys. We're going to do this. It's going to be fun. These are just too flimsy. Do you see how that bends real easy? Those are too flimsy. They're not going to go in the styrofoam, and then even after I put glue on them, they might actually curl up. I have it right over there. I'm going to go grab her 5 seconds real quick. I've seen so many people use these things that I'm guarantee you I'm not gonna have a problem. Give me 5 seconds because I have to go get the actual picks. Alright guys, someone had told me a secret of getting these things loaded up. This is what the picks look like when you get them in the boxes. So, let me see how we're going to do this. I know that it faces this way. I got to take this guy out. You put these in first so that you don't lose them. There we go. And then once you get it in there, then you cut that cellophane off so that you're not... might be easier to do it kind of up here. Now, did I put these in correctly? There we go. I don't know if this goes in this way. Okay, guys, learning experience, learning curve. wasn't prepared to use this at the moment, so let's see. I cut the cellophane off the top. I think they go in like this. And then now I'm going to pull it off once I get it in here. There we go. So let's see, does that push that forward? No, it's not pushing them forward. I think I put them in wrong, you guys. I don't know how I'm going to get these all out now. And then hold them together so they don't come apart. This is like worse than a stapler. See all these little loose pieces now? Sorry guys, hiccup. This is part of the beautifulness of going live, I guess. All right, I'm gonna have to wait, guys. I don't want to waste more time with you guys just kind of staring at me and I'm spitballing here. I'm gonna have to watch a video, or I'm gonna need to take a look at another tutorial. Julie has one out for her pick machine. I'll probably check into that too. I just don't want to sit here while you guys are watching me. Let's see. Do I have any more? Oh, geez, my comments got stuck. So sorry, you guys. Let's see. We're learning with you. That's fine. Not sure over 100. Yeah, it was $100, but if you get it at Hobby Lobby, it's actually more than that. I don't know what you're asking about. Honestly, I should. Some creators are dull. Whitney is bubbly. Thanks, Jan. I'm bubbly. Talk to you like you're my buddy. It's because I feel like you guys are with me. It's like, let's just be happy-go-lucky creatives. Yes, Beverly, Nick. You're talking about Nick. Yes, he is a great teacher. And he's also got a great personality. You guys check him out. If you're not familiar with him, bring out the pick machine. Irene, yeah, I did. You guys saw that. How much are the pick machines at Hobby Lobby? My husband got it for me at Christmas. There's happy. You guys give me the laughing face. I love that, by the way. Plenty of time to show the details. Yeah, Connie, I'm trying to, but this one of those things. Apparently, there isn't just an easy way to load that thing up. So I'm gonna take a look at it in greater detail, and I'll figure it out. And then I'll show you guys what I learned, because I know I have to watch. Julie Samaka has a specific tutorial just for the pick machine. So if you get lost or you need help, she's got a great one on her website or her YouTube channel. You can always take a look at that. Dell, I did point the pointy end away from me. It is sharp, but there's two ways it can go on. I don't know if it needs to go all the way forward or all the way to the back here. There's two ways that can go in there, so we'll see how that works. No worries. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that. Roseanne, razor sharp. No worries. You're doing great. Glad to see how to use it. We're learning together. Put your weight on. Put your weight on. Oh, my goodness. Carol. Duh. Thank you. I probably did have them in there right then. All right, you guys. Let me do this. I'll do this with you. I'll try it one more time because I didn't put the weight on. You're right. You're so right about that. Already forgot how to. There we go. That already helped me. I can see how that needs to go in. Thank you, Carol. That's the first thing I saw. I was like, yeah, I took it out, right? And I never put it back in. Durr. Wow. What have I done? I'm nothing if not entertaining, right, guys? I'm just showing you how professional I am. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby at this. There's red glitter in it. How did there get red glitter in it when I've never used it? I wonder if it was returned. Okay, so let's do it this way. Okay, and then we put this weight here like a these. Or like this. Nope, has to go like this. And then we push that forward. Yes! It works! Thank you, Carol. I would have never thought to put that thing back in there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody thank Carol because now I can use this. Carol's the first one that told me, Carol, you have a pick machine, so thank you so much. Thank you, gal. That's great. Janice goes inside. Yeah, we stand by you. Jan, you guys are awesome. You guys are just awesome. You make me feel so dang loved. Let's see. Funny. You're charming and entertaining. Thank you. I'm so glad you're helping us. Hey, man, Carla, you guys are all helping me as much as I'm helping you. Deb said it first. Okay, Deb. Deb, Carol, everybody, thank you. No matter who said what, when, you guys have made this a very amazing thing. So now from now, I'm pretty sure I know how to get this guy on. So you pull this guy forward. It loads the first one in here. You place your pick right here where you want it to be covered, and then basically you push this back away from you, and you can hold the top of the piece to put your weight on it. Pull it out, and then you pull this forward, and it wraps the metal piece around the bottom of it. So that part I got down. The loading part just takes a little bit of specialness, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a few of these done ahead of time. So again, I'm going to push it forward, and it loads one up like that. There we go. Push it forward, loads one forward. Place my stem in there, and then it push away from you, and it curls those metal pieces down. There you go, you guys. I'm a pro now. I'm a pro. It only took, I don't know what, 10 minutes, and everybody's helped. So you guys, this is the first time using it since I got it for Christmas. So I can tell my husband I got to use my Christmas present. He's going to be super happy about that. I think I'll leave that one that length. Pull it forward, put your stem in there, and push back to curl that metal piece around. This is kind of awesome, you guys. I'm loving this because I'm going to be able to push these in so much easier than actually... I mean, I guess old school way of doing it was you would have to get those wooden picks for every single one of them and get floral tape and use the floral tape on it. So, So this is a lot more convenient, and I'm actually loving this. I didn't know I'd have this much fun. There's something satisfying about curling that metal around the end piece. It's awesome. Let's see, do I have one more here? Okay, I guess I put enough of a handful in there. I only grabbed a few just to see if I was forgetting it. So, important part. Put the weight back in the pick machine. Doesn't do anybody good if you can't laugh at yourself. You got to be able to laugh at yourself, you know? It's one of those things. It's like those days where you forget to spell your own name, and that has happened to me. You guys can't tell me that hasn't happened to you. There's days where you're like, wait a minute. Whitney, W. Yeah, I should be back in bed. Wake up and you can't spell your own name. So here's my little collection. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 of them, and I have a few more here, but I don't know if I'm going to use the whole bush. So let's put these 7 in. We'll see what it adds to the piece, and then all we have left are those little weird guys that I got just because I thought they were crazy looking. Remember? Oh, there we go. Check that out. Those little guys here. So all I'm doing is I'm going to hold this girl up here, and I'm just going to take a look at some of the placement that I know I need to fill in something tall. I know I want something to go back here in this piece here. You see how that kind of lays like that? So push it to the side and kind of get your hands in there. Move things around. Oh yes, this floral pick is so awesome, you guys. I'm so happy. I would have never been able to do that with this. I'm putting glue on the metal. Yeah, this is amazing. This is so amazing. This is so much easier. Oh, and it just pushes right in. So, oh, wow. It just pushed right into that styrofoam like butter. It was like butter or like butter, depending on where you're from, right? It was like butter, man. That's so awesome. This is kind of fun, guys. It's the first time I've used it, and I'm having a good time. Yes. Yes. This wouldn't, I mean, you have to tell me, these stems are so weak once you cut them off. I would have never been able to place these into this project without this floral pick. Or without the pick machine. So this is actually very, very awesome. I only have a couple in here right now. And making sure nothing's popping out the back. Like I got everything in the styrofoam. So all I'm doing is I'm just going to continue to add these. Okay, that's just a greenery piece. I'm going to put these white ones in first. Okay, so I'm putting in the first part. Let me see, is that guy coming out of there a little bit? It's coming out just a little bit. I'm going to put glue on it. I'm going to feed it right back into that hole I made. And I'm just going to keep adding them in all these places. Sorry guys, I know you don't have a really good view at the moment, but this is one of those things where you got to get like really, you got to get really deep in there, elbow deep, and got to root around and get to your end piece and your end result. Part of the process is maybe being a little uncomfortable, but your end result is going to be worth it, you know. I mean, all I can say is at least for next time, I'll know how to use my pick machine. It's so awesome. Nice and embarrassing, but you know, those moments are happening less and less with you guys because you guys are so understanding and extremely helpful. I mean, geez. I mean, had I really thought that I was going to use it, if I'd actually planned it out properly, I would have been able to do the research and get in there and watch Julie's video and all that good stuff. If you want, you guys, I will find Julie's video on the pick machine and I will place that in there so you guys can see it. Although a lot of you guys have already helped me with it, so you guys already know what you're doing with the pick machine. Obviously. That's all that's left on that stem. That's not really anything, that's too much newspaper. I'm going to pick them all, I'm going to put them all in. I think that this is adding just enough length and height to the project that it's looking really good. So let's see, this is just a greenery piece, which I could probably just stick right here, closer to the bow. Yeah. So this is going to have a little bit of height, but it won't be too, like, it's not going to stick out to the point where it'll interfere with, like, your door opening and closing or, you know, anybody walking by. Best part is that nobody with allergies will have a problem, right? I love how it works. I want a pick machine, LOL. I'm new to wreath making. Lita, yes. I wanted one as soon as I saw Julie. Julie got one, and she said that Terry Marshall from Millendale Designs, that I watch frequently as well, she had one and said that, you know, you guys really need to get one because it makes a difference. So I was watching her video, and I was like, okay, that's kind of awesome. And then she had the one, and then I watched a few of many other people. Nick Creticos, he had one, and he's used it a few times. And then I started watching Terry Marshall on Millendale, and I was watching the things that she was doing. She's done ones where she's put bundles of ribbon in here and gotten like the tails of ribbon around these metal pieces. And it has really given me ideas for the tails on ribbon. If you don't want to cut tails or you just want to add a little bit more length to your project, you can put them on a steel pick, which is kind of awesome. So she's got great tips too. If you guys don't watch Terry Marshall at Millendale, hop on over there. She's got a lot of good stuff. Okay, so I ran out of them, you guys. So now I remember, put the weight back in. Put the weight back in. So let's put these guys in. I mean, I remembered enough to say don't take the cellophane thing off before you put them in because they'll fall apart. But then I didn't remember enough to actually not... No, that's not working. Did I not put them in correctly? Uh-oh. Already, you guys. Hiccup, hiccup. That's having so much fun. Not working again, guys. I'm going to have to stop. I should have put way more in at that one time before than I didn't. It's just not. It's kind of hard to unload once you load it. Maybe is there a thing where you put, if you put too many in, if you load too many in, it won't push them forward? Does anybody, you guys, Carol or Deb, those of you that have the machine? Those few M's. Yes, they did. It did. It added a lot of dimension. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You guys all notice this stuff. You guys are all awesome wreath makers, I bet. You know, just like wreath makers, arrangement, you know, all you peeps. Oh, such great creatives. I have like a really awesome community here. You guys make me happy. But question, anybody that has a pick machine, have you noticed you can't put that many in? Like you can't load that many in or it starts to have an issue? Because I'm seeing that right now. I had to take probably half of the ones out that I wanted, and then it started to put them in again. Janice, you'll never go back. Oh, guaranteed, I'm not. I'm having way too much fun now with this thing. It's like, it's satisfying to push it and crush the metal. It's satisfying. Like butter. Yes, Trish, that's what I was trying to say, like butter. Okay, I'll have to work on that later. Let me see what you guys say. It's faster than taping and wiring. That is very true, Charlotte. You are so awesome, Winnie. I love your sense of humor. Thank you, Lana. That's best. Squeeze it with pliers to make it tighter. Squeeze the end of it. I see what you mean. I gotta go. Almost kickoff time. Yeah, Trish, it's pretty time. That's why I'm doing this. So I'll have the two more lives, guys. Don't worry about it. The groove of the weight goes down into the picks. You should be able to put a whole sleeve in. Yeah, that's what I thought, Deb. Yes, you should be able to put a whole sleeve in. You can load in the whole bunch or a little at a time. No problem with mine like that. Okay, so I got the picks on the last few that I want on for these little thin guys. So in my off time, I will look at that and I will make sure that I can see maybe I had them in differently or wrong, but it was only working with a few of the smaller ones. All right, let me go back in here with this. I'm going to need to move around some stuff. I'm going to put these last little pieces in and then I'm going to add to my bow, you guys, and we will be done. Actually, I'm not going to glue that one. No, it doesn't really need glue. I'm going to do another one back here. Like this. And actually, you guys, I can see a bunch of stuff showing back here, so I'm going to throw this in. I'll show you what I'm looking at. If you look back here in this corner, yes, it's the back, but if you look at that, you can see down in there. That's not good. So, my little extra leftover pieces of tulips, guess what we're going to do? I'm going to cut them super short, and I'm going to feed them in back here, if I can. I got to work it in there. I got to get my hands in, you guys. There we go. Now look at that. That's already covered. All right, so now I'm just going to push this down and shoot some glue over it. It's not a lot of, it doesn't show a lot, but now look. Now you can see the tulips. See that? The tulips are in there and they're covering up that styrofoam ickiness we don't want anyone to see. I got one more. I'm going to put the other one back here. I know it's the very back. And some people ask, why are you putting that in the back? Because you never know. I just don't want these things to be seen. It's not meant to be seen. It's a behind the scenes thing. So, I mean, even if you're giving this to a family member or like myself, this piece will be for sale. I don't want anyone to have to look at this stuff. This isn't intended for viewing. You know what I mean? I don't want you to have to look at this. This isn't pretty. It's filler, and it helps out. It's the right color, and I already had leftovers from my previous project. So I'm actually just going to glue this tulip down in here. You could do the same thing with the leaves, guys. Take your pieces of leaves off and take them out, glue the ends of them, and just stuff them down into the places you want them to go. After this, you won't be able to see anything I don't want you to see. There you go. So now before, when you could see in through all that, you can't see in there at all. You see tulips. See all that? Fixed it. All right, just a few more, guys. 4 more of these buttes. I actually think I might make this one shorter. No, I just pulled that right off of there. I'm going to make this one shorter and just have the white piece sticking out. You know, towards the bottom of the piece, I don't really want too much of it to stick out really, really straight. You know what I mean? I don't want it to go so far out this way that it's going to make the piece look a little pretty. Yeah, that's much shorter. That looks way better. I'll show you guys in 5 seconds. Let me put this back in. Actually, I might cut this piece a little shorter. Right here. I'm still going to leave the pick in where I put it. I'm just going to make another pick out of it. Okay. So this piece was connected right here like this. I just cut it off, so I made a little pick out of it. But do you see this one right here? This one is shorter than these pieces that are sticking out. I made that a little shorter because I didn't want it to... I don't want it to take too much. It's taking away from the top of the piece. I don't want it to be so crazy out in every direction. So that's why I changed that one up just a little bit. I think I'm going to do that with a few of these now. And I'm still going to use the pick portion at the bottom because it has the greenery on it. I'm sticking that through the bow portion, and it's been working out really well. Yes, yes, guys. Okay, one more, and I'll show you what I got. And I'll hold it up, and we'll see if we're done. You guys let me know if you think it needs something in one area or not. Beverly, moss glue to the foam, and then add flowers would be a great idea too. Yes, because that moss would have, you know, helped with that piece that was showing on the back. That's a really good idea. I have some moss. I haven't used it very much just because I think it's just a little bit more messier. But then again, your craft room is supposed to be messy, isn't it? All right, so I did end up using the entire bush of these little white long pieces here, but it's turned out great. Oh, okay, so I'm done with all the flowers, you guys. That's it for the flowers. You can still see the basket. I didn't kind of go too crazy with it. If you see here, you can see your basket. Now what I need to do is I need to add the greenery. I had a couple pieces. I need to add greenery down here into this bow. That's the part that's that's a must. That's like, oh, I don't know if it's a Whitney thing. I do know a couple of you guys have messaged me and said that you put stuff in your bows as well. So I know I'm not completely alone on this. I basically take the extra greenery that's fallen off. I put a little bit of glue on it in here, and then I nestle it down into the loops of the bow so you can see pieces of things kind of popping out. This long piece I absolutely love. So I'm going to put glue on the bottom of it where I pulled it off of that larger hydrangea, and I'm going to literally glue it right into the center of my bow. It's so cute. I love that. Absolutely love that. I have one other piece. Here it is. That's another longer piece. I'm going to put that down there. All right, 2 more pieces of greenery, guys. And I'm going to hold it up. And, oh, yes. Yeah. Just it's making me so happy. It's making me happy. It's the best part. One more pick here. This greenery adds a lot to the bow. You just wouldn't imagine. Do you see that? That's just a piece off of the one of the white stuff I pulled off. And I'm just gonna, yeah, stick that down in there like that. I've got lots of other pieces. I might as well just keep doing it. Yeah, I mean, why not? Not wasting the pick, and I'm not wasting the greenery. Yes. Okay, guys, I think I've added a good amount to the bow. I don't want to overdo it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I got one more of this lighter fuzzy stuff. Just kind of, I dipped the bottom of the leaf in it. So it's getting on the front and the back of the leaf. That is okay because you're not going to see all of this piece of the wreath, of the leaf, as it gets nestled down in your bow, into your loops. All right, guys, there we go. We got greenery, flowers, 3 different kinds of gorgeous ribbon. All right, guys, I'm done. Tell me what you think. You guys let me know and tell me if this is something that you guys are going to do. We added a lot of florals. We added, oh, no. You guys, I almost forgot. The last piece. It's so pretty. Using moss is a great idea. Yes, it is, Amy. It is, definitely. These guys are going in here if it's the last thing I do today. And it's not. I got many live streams planned. But I am getting these suckers in here and putting that last little bit of weird. It's that last little bit of weirdness that I love. I want these in right crazy. Yep, I already love it. I only put one in. Isn't it kind of crazy looking right here? Glue her at the bottom. All right, there we go. I'm glad I looked down. This is the thing. These are the ones that I said, absolutely, I will get these in here. And I have them at 3 levels. Oh, that's being a little difficult. I'm going to put a pick on it. I love that I have that option now. I'm going to put a pick on the end of it. It's arguing with me. Yes. You guys, I'm so excited over this pick machine. Oh, so excited. So excited. Made me happy. Kind of burnt myself a little bit. Do I want this one over here maybe? Yep. All right. Seal the deal, guys. And now I'm done. One more. Get a little bit of glue on it. Yes. Okay. Now we're done. My original 3 pieces I wanted to get in there, you guys. Those 3 were very important, and we did it. We did it. Very pretty, Whitney. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Connie. Did you use the protein? Thank you, Dell. Yes, she was reminding me. Thank you, Dell. I appreciate that. Yes. Beautiful. Your creativity is awesome. Love your work. Thank you, Debbie. Carol, this is gorgeous. Thank you, Carol. Heading to Hobby Lobby tomorrow, Bonnie. Yes, they have a lot of these baskets at my Hobby Lobby. They had a large amount. And again, someone had said earlier they're called tobacco baskets. I picked it because it was very shallow and it had a wide opening. So just keep in mind for the size of the arrangement you want, just make sure there's enough room in the basket. And then basically it hangs on the wall itself. I'll probably put it on a nail here, which you won't see from the front. And it's going to look gorgeous on your wall or on your door. It'll be absolutely beautiful. So you guys head on over to Hobby Lobby and you can get all of this stuff too. The ribbon was a little bit on my own, but you guys definitely won't have a problem picking that stuff out. Look good in purples, yellows, Easter colors. This would be awesome. Even at Christmas, imagine this basket at Christmas with poinsettias and the infinite ribbon options. This would be gorgeous for fall and just go buy all of their baskets, okay? Carol, you're going to Hobby Lobby tomorrow. Yeah, nice, nice. Love it. Gorgeous. Learned a lot today, and your basket's gorgeous. Thank you, Marianne. Just love this. Okay, guys, so what time is it now? How long are we doing this? Oh, that's 100%. It's 3 o'clock. Wow. So we've been doing this for a while. It's been 3 hours, so I'm going to take a break for probably about an hour, hour and a half, and then we'll be back at it, and I'll be doing a Easter, spring Easter cross wreath. So you guys will see that next. I'll show you my flowers just for a little bit of inspiration to kind of coax you guys to come back. These are the flowers and the selection I have for that wreath. So come back and you'll see a grapevine wreath with these gorgeous gals. This is all from Michael's. The cross was from Hobby Lobby. So we're going to do that next in about an hour. I'm going to lean more towards an hour and a half so I can do a little bit of YouTube to get that other video up first. And maybe take some pictures of this. And I'll post those guys up. So how about this? I'll see you guys back in exactly hour and a half. So let's do this at 3:30. 3:30. Let's come back at. No, let's just come back. It's 3 o'clock now. Let's just come back at 4 o'clock. Okay, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That way I can do that one, and I still definitely want to do that Easter one with you guys. So let's come back at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we'll see you all then. Okay? Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you being here. Take care.